April 2nd is not a day that fills the Astros with warm, fuzzy memories, as Yu Darvish sliders were dancing past their bats and into their nightmares in an early season pitching clinic. Can the Astros turn that frown upside down and give the whirling Darvish a few bad dreams to sleep on tonight? Live from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Comcast Sportsnet brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight it's Game 2 of this three-game series, the battle for the Silver Boot between the Astros and the Texas Rangers. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Alan Ashby. The Rangers beat the Astros in a well-pitched game last night, 4-2, after winning 2 of 3 here earlier this season. And now, one of the pitchers who almost got a share of history, Yu Darvish, goes against them for the second time this season.
Well, he went 26 hitters without a base runner from the Astros until Marwin Gonzalez finally got a base hit against him. But Yu Darvish has been absolutely deadly, not only to Houston, but to everybody. An assortment of breaking balls is what he featured mostly against the Astros in that near-perfect game back on the 2nd of April. Slider after slider, some breaking downward. He just seems to mix up that breaking ball. He'll spot the fastball occasionally, but Yu Darvish in 2 starts against the Astros lifetime is 2-0.
Anything, of course, can happen in a sporting event, but if it goes according to the form chart, how do you beat Yu Darvish? Well, one part of the formula is to have a well-pitched game against him. And the Astros are hoping that things fall into line. It's been Jordan Lyles, Bud Norris, Lucas Harrell, Dallas Keuchel. A very good outing from Keuchel last night, so the bullpen has had a chance to get stronger. And now tonight it's going to be Eric Bedard.
And Eric Bedard goes out there. Not a whole lot of good stuff going on for Bedard this year. In fact, recently taken out of the starting rotation, then reinserted. But he had a very good one against the Texas Rangers early on, that in relief. And as he came on, he was sharp for 3 1/3 innings, allowing just 1 hit. And Eric Bedard and company would love to see a little bit more of that here tonight.
Coming up, the Eyes of Texas with the 2 skippers, Jose Altuve, Matt Dominguez, and others getting set to go. Julia Morales has more with Ron Washington in just a moment.
The Astros hosting the Texas Rangers this weekend, Game 2 of this series tonight. I am with Ron Washington right now, the manager of the Texas Rangers, and they sit on top of the AL West right now. Wash, your team has been on top of the divisions a lot of the time since 2010. How have you been able to keep these guys playing at that level for several years now?
Well, I just have a great group of guys, and they play well as a group. They don't have any egos in that clubhouse. They don't really care who gets the job done as long as the job gets done. And they show up every day enjoying the fact that they're going to play baseball. And it's a game, and that's the way they treat it. They have fun, and I think that's why one of the reasons why we've been able to, other than the talent, one of the reasons why we've been able to maintain.
Well, you've seen this Astros organization for many years now. What have you seen from them, or what do you think about the way they're doing things right now?
Well, you know, they know their personnel better than anyone, and everything you read about the Astros is positive, and that's the best way to have it, especially when you're trying to break youth in at the major league level. It's a different animal up here than what they've seen. They have all been successful where they come from. Now it's a matter of them making the adjustments. And with Bo Porter and Mr. Lugnau as in charge, they got a vision, and they're sticking to it. The fans is buying into it. And these guys play hard every night, and they come up short because they're a little short right now on some experience. But as far as playing the game of baseball, I've always noticed they find themselves in ball games.
Thank you very much for taking some time with us, and good luck tonight.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, everybody, stick with us here on Comcast Sportsnet. Astros baseball coming up. The Astros and Rangers, part 2 of the weekend series. More on the matchup coming up. First pitch when we return.
Is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Progressive. Visit progressive.com today. Ferris wheel out there, and it is a day that has a lot of humidity. We had tons of rain overnight after the game last night. In fact, just got the fireworks in after that ball game, and it started pouring, and it poured buckets. But now we have a sunny night, and it's the Astros and Rangers Game 2 of this weekend series with Ian Kinsler leading off at second base for the Rangers. Elvis Andrus is the shortstop. Lance Berkman, the former Astro, batting third, DHing, with Adrian Beltre at third base. It's Nelson Cruz in right field, Mitch Moreland at first base, Jeff Baker in left field, Giovanni Soto the catcher, and Craig Gentry in center with Yu Darvish on the mound.
Veteran left-hander Eric Bedard on the hill for the Astros. Sixth start on the season, his 16th career against these Texas Rangers, against whom he is 5-4 over his career. His last start came at New York against the Yankees on May 1st. And he would love to get things turned around. Pitched very well in relief in that first game of the year as the Astros beat the Texas Rangers.
He got the save in that one. And now it's Kinsler. Kinsler is putting everything together this year. He's had seasons with higher batting average and not as much power. He's had good, powerful seasons with a lower batting average. But this year, everything has come into place for Ian Kinsler so far. There is strike one. Jeff Kellogg, the crew chief, is a home plate umpire. So the numbers are 326, 7 homers, 20 runs batted in. He's 5th in hits with 46. He's 9th in slugging at 546. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Ian Kinsler from the University of Missouri. It's Kellogg, Cooper, Schreiber, and Fairchild on this umpiring crew. Kinsler hits one to shortstop on one hop. And there's the throw from Marwin Gonzalez. 1 out.
Defensively for the Astros this evening. Scored this evening. Behind the plate, Carlos Corporan, a late change. Castro was originally scheduled to catch. Carlos Pena at first, Jose Altuve at second, Marwin Gonzalez, who you just saw at short, and Matt Dominguez at third. In center field, Robbie Grossman, flanked by Jimmy Paredes in right, and Trevor Crowe in left.
Eric Bedard back in the rotation after being sent to the bullpen. 34 years old from Ontario, Canada, facing Elvis Andrus, 259. And ball one is up. Andrus has no homers. He's driven in 11. He was 0 for 4 and had an RBI in last night's game. A 4-2 Texas win. Ground ball to third. Dominguez. 2 outs for Bedard. I mentioned good career numbers for Bedard against this hard-hitting Ranger club. Ash, and as he looks for win number 1 of the year, he has gone no longer than 4 innings in any of his 5 starts so far this season.
And that last start, 4 innings, required 90 pitches. So he would love to have some more innings like this. Get the ground ball outs. Dallas Keuchel last night, 13 ground ball outs. Very effective.
Lance Berkman at 295 has a pair of homers. He's driven in 15. Strike to Lance. He's 4th in on-base average in the American League at 427. He had a hit in 4 at-bats last night. That gives him a 16-game hitting streak here at Minute Maid Park. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Lance. Switch hitter who, as a right-handed batter, is hitting 281 for 32 at-bats. He left for a pinch runner after his double last night. This one goes out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Lance Berkman, one of the great Astros in their 51-year history. Lance now 37 years old, a first-round pick in '97. He was the 16th player drafted that year. He flares this one, and the first sacker, Carlos Pena, moves back for it into shallow right field to make it a 1-2-3 first for Eric Bedard. Yu Darvish heads for the mound. He is back. He came within 1 out of a perfecto earlier this year. The Astros come up with Bo Porter's lineup card, beginning with center fielder Robbie Grossman. Jimmy Paredes is in right field with Jose Altuve at second base. The DH, Jason Castro, is the cleanup man, followed by catcher Carlos Corporan, first baseman Carlos Pena, left fielder Trevor Crowe, third baseman Matt Dominguez, and shortstop Marwin Gonzalez.
Right-hander Yu Darvish, you know him here in Houston, so close to that perfect game back on the 2nd of April. Just absolutely brilliant. 5-1 on the year, 2.56 the ERA. Only Seattle has beaten him this year, and you can see just 27 hits allowed in 45+ innings, and only walking 15. And the walks, cutting down those walks, has been the big change from what he did early on last year.
Batting average against him is a puny 169. Robbie Grossman is the first man up. Darvish throws, and it's ball 1. Grossman had 188, has no homers. He's driven in 2. He was 0 for 4 with a walk in last night's game. That one bounces. It's a 2-ball, no strike count. The Astros would, of course, ideally like to force Darvish into a high pitch count. He was absolutely spectacular here early in April as he gave up that perfect game bid with a 2-out 9th inning single to Marwin Gonzalez. That comes in for a strike, and it's a 2-ball, 1 strike count. And Darvish can really dazzle the hitters with a variety of pitches.
Well, watch that fastball here this evening. So far, the velocity number is nowhere close to what he had back in his first start of the year.
It's a 2-ball, 2 strike count to Robbie Grossman. Robbie has started every Astros game since he was elevated from AAA Oklahoma City. His first start was April 24th. And he had 2 doubles in his first major league game right here in this ballpark before the Astros went on a road trip. So he started 16 straight. And Bo Porter's getting a pretty good feel for Robbie Grossman now. Curveball inside makes it 3 balls, 2 strikes. And you mentioned the walk rate coming down for Yu Darvish. Last year he had 89 walks in 191 innings. And it really has been reduced with 15 and 45 2/3 so far.
And a good percentage of those walks last year came in the first half of the season.
He gets a strikeout on a low breaking pitch.
Well, if Yu Darvish continues to feature the strikeout pitch, I don't know how much he'll need the defense tonight, but that defense behind the outstanding right-hander as Giovanni Soto behind the plate, around the infield Mitch Moreland, Ian Kinsler, Elvis Andrus, and Adrian Beltre. In the outfield, speedy Craig Gentry in center. He's flanked by Nelson Cruz in right and Jeff Baker in left.
Last time out, Darvish worked 7 innings, allowing 4 hits, 3 runs. Against Boston, he left with the game tied at 3. Jimmy Paredes is the batter. Bouncer goes to second. Ian Kinsler, an easy out, number 2.
Back in that first start for Yu Darvish, he threw first pitch fastballs 21 of 27 hitters. That fastball 63% of the time. The slider says 30%, though we saw just a ton of strikeout sliders in the ball games. And Yu Darvish, he was phenomenal. We'll see if he changes that tonight. It doesn't look like the fastball velocity, at least here in the first inning, is the same as what we saw that first start.
Jose Altuve is the batter. He's been hitting third now for the last 4 games, with Grossman and Paredes in front of him in this lineup. That goes to center field. Gentry takes care of out number 3. So a couple of 1-pitch outs for Paredes and Altuve get Darvish through a scoreless first.
For the next big and bright Friday night, the Astros take on the Oakland A's at 7:10 p.m. 10,000 fans will receive an Astros koozie. That's courtesy of Budweiser. Then stay for the postgame fireworks show presented by Marathon Oil. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit Astros.com to get your tickets today.
Well, it's a pink weekend, and it started last night. And tonight it's pink caps, the giveaway.
Those are good looking.
They are. Adrian Beltre settles into the box. And he beats that one into the ground. Strike 1 to Beltre, a .243 hitter with 6 homers, 18 runs batted in. He is 3 for 20 in his career against Eric Bedard. Beltre 1 for 4 in last night's game. Bedard delivers, and it's strike 2. Bedard, with that opening night performance out of the bullpen, was very good. 3 1/3 innings, 1 hit, no runs in the 8-2 win against the Rangers. Fly ball left field. Trevor Crowe at the wall, now backing off that wall, and that one makes it 1-0 Texas. Beltre hits number 7. Taking the 0-2 pitch into the Landry's-Crawford boxes for the Rangers' 43rd home run of this season.
Ball was not crushed, but enough to left field. Get a look and see if Eric Bedard might have found too much plate with a 2-strike pitch. certainly up in the strike zone. Sometimes if you come in off the plate, that fastball up and in can be quite effective. Well, fan went down for that one.
Yeah, fan down. Nelson Cruz. Hopefully everybody's all right out there in the Landry's Crawford boxes. Cruz takes strike one. The Rangers get the game's first run with the long ball. Cruz has 8 of those himself, and he ripped a long one last night. Fouls it back. It's no balls, 2 strikes. 8 homers, 25 runs batted in, and a .269 average.
Yeah, I saw the comparisons today with that home run to the Albert Pujols home run back in the postseason with the Astros. Off the glass, very comparable.
He just crushed it last night. But he screws himself into the ground and strikes out. That's number 1 for Bedard. He took a lot off, not a little bit. Took a lot off.
And that's likely a big part of the plan consistently for Eric Bedard. Keeps this pitch down, and visually that helps a good deal on that off-speed pitch.
Good point. Mitch Moreland, who's been hitting lefties pretty well this year, begins the night at .286 with 6 homers. He's driven in 14. Moreland had a double in 4 trips last night. That's strike 1 to Mitch Moreland. Bedard had not pitched in relief since '04 when he took the mound opening night here in relief of Bud Norris. Nailed down that game. He came in with a 4-2 lead in the 6th inning at the time, and a couple of men on base, and was very good. No balls, 2 strikes, and has been building up his pitch counts. His first start was in Seattle April 9th, and he pitched extremely well. 4 innings of 1-hit shutout ball, left with a 13-0 lead, having thrown 66 pitches, and because he didn't go 5, didn't get the win. But then things spiraled downhill after a good start here against Cleveland. 4 innings, 2 runs. He struck out 8. He left with that game tied at 2, and had a rough start in Boston, another tough one in New York against the Yankees, and went to the pen where he made that outing against Detroit on Sunday. When crowds the hitter, Moreland checked his swing on appeal to Chad Fairchild, and makes it 2-2.
A lot of times you get that body started and the bat drags with, and that bat probably dragged through the hitting area. Did he swing it, or was his body just spinning that way? I don't know actually if it even makes a difference.
Moreland dribbles one, and behind first base it's a fair ball. Pena with the toss. It's a hard toss to Bedard. Very well done by Pena to lead the pitcher. It was on a good plane for him to make that toss, but he had to get it to him quickly.
I think any pitcher would tell you he wants the ball as early before the bag as possible so he can see ball, catch it, and then see bag. And it is a nice job by Carlos. He moves in that direction, and that always helps set up the play.
Yeah.
You watch the guys with pitchers fielding practice in the spring, which they do continually, and that's exactly how they'll teach it.
Jeff Baker gets another start against another left-hander. He homered last night. There's strike 1 to Baker. Baker hit a 7th inning home run off Wesley Wright in the Texas 4-2 win, and that one is the one that put them in the lead 3-2. 333 for Baker with 4 homers. He's driven in 7. He's been platooning in left with David Murphy. It's no balls, 2 strikes. Giovanni Soto on deck. Rangers are 22-13. This is one of their best starts ever for the first 35 games. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. So Bedard just had that one relief outing since he was in the rotation. The last time out Sunday, he went 3 1/3, gave up 1 run, and now, because the Astros have wanted this matchup, he's back on the mound as a starter. Phil Umber in the bullpen, and that hit him. Well, Baker takes first base, hit by the 1-2 pitch. And that breaking pitch down and in.
It's amazing how often this slider or curveball will break down and in on a hitter and catch a foot, usually the back foot. looked like Baker got the best of both worlds right here. The ball appeared to hit the ground first and then maybe just skim the foot going by.
Just barely touched him. Ron Washington, in his 7th year as the Rangers skipper, has made it to 2 World Series, 542 wins for Wash. Giovanni Soto is his catcher now in the absence of the injured A.J. Brzezinski. There's strike 1 to Soto, a 194 hitter with no homers and 1 RBI. Soto has made 11 starts, and the Rangers are 6-5 in those. Last night it was 0 for 3 with a walk, scored a run. Brzezinski just went on the 15-day disabled list. That's in the dirt.
That was the changeup, and it looked like Eric just kind of pushed it toward the plate rather than that good arm speed make it look like the fastball.
This is the 5th consecutive start for Giovanni Soto, the former Cub. Rangers had to scramble to get a backup catcher. Robinson Chirinos here for the game last night. He had a couple of flights canceled from out west from his minor league assignment. And they flew him into Dallas, and he drove in with some Rangers officials for the game last night. 1-2 to Soto.
2008, you mentioned Soto being with the Cubs. In that season with Chicago, hit 285, 23 bombs, 35 doubles. Heck of a year.
Rookie of the year, All-Star. 2 balls, 2 strikes, but since then, nothing close to that. And he left the Cubs last year to join the Rangers. Traded in July for Jake Brigham. Soto 30 years old. Soto puts it in the air outside the first baseline, and Carlos Pena goes over near the stands. Out of play. That was a big time storm after the game last night as the roof rolled back for the fireworks. That storm was coming in from out west. It had passed through San Antonio. The fans got to enjoy the fireworks, and then a lot of folks, as they were driving home, got blasted by a real downpour.
Did you catch that on the highway?
Yes, sir. People going 35 miles per hour. Check swing call goes Soto's way, and it's 3-2.
That might have done some plate crossing here. Yeah,
It did.
for me, that's a swing.
It's still one of the tough calls.
It is.
Check swing calls. 3-2. Baker will be setting sail for second. And that is strike 3. Leadoff homer by Beltre on an 0-2 pitch. Strikeout number 2 for Bedard ends the inning. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 left. 1-0 Rangers.
Geico quote of the day is from Marwin Gonzalez. I didn't want to be the last out. I was trying to look for a good pitch to hit and put it in play. That's all I was thinking. That's, of course, on Breaking Up Hughes' perfect game, almost perfect game the last time they saw him. No pressure with Morrow when he came up to the plate. And so I asked some of the guys, now that you've seen him once, how do you approach this one? They actually said they know what's coming with this guy. They're going to get something to hit on his first pitch. And then with 2 strikes, you can look for the slider. But knowing isn't everything, is it, guys?
Well, Paredes hit the first pitch, grounded out to second. Altuve the first pitch, fly ball to center. So maybe that's the approach. But Darvish was able to counteract it in the first inning. Now here's Castro DHing tonight. And ball 1.
Yeah, that's leaves me kind of curious. They know what's coming. Is that percentage-wise based on the 21 first pitch fastballs last time? Or is that something they're picking up, seeing Darvish on the hill?
Not sure about that. Castro with 2 homers. Looks at a close one for a ball. 2-0 to Jason.
Guess I'd probably guess with the former on that one.
Castro was originally the catcher, but then shortly before game time it was announced that he and Corcoran were switching positions. Castro DHing and Corcoran catching tonight. He takes the breaking pitch low, and it's 3-0 for Darvish. Darvish checks in with a 2.56 ERA coming into this game. Leading the majors in average strikeouts per 9 innings, 14.19 strikeouts per 9.
Guess a lot depends on how much you can lay off the breaking balls out of the strike zone.
3-1. Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, that's a tough assignment. You see that breaking ball started. Looks like it's in the strike zone. Just a wicked breaking slider.
Yeah, he has a slider and a cutter and a curve. This guy has a wide assortment of pitches. That's his pitch, and it's 3-2. So on 3-1, he throws a slider that breaks straight down. He can trick guys a lot of different ways.
Well, you can bet Jason Castro had a plan on that pitch, but that slider will blow up some plans.
Yes, it will. It might look like a fastball coming up there. And that's what a hitter would like to have, a 3-1 fastball. Jason's 0 for 15 against the Rangers this year. That's strike 3. He gets a call from Jeff Kellogg, and Jason very unhappy with that inside corner call.
Darvish gets some of that run back to the plate. Does he get enough to catch some of the plate? I don't know. A little bit of a pull there by Soto.
Yep.
Of course, that pull, I don't know if that really impacts umpires or not. As a catcher, it's natural instinct to pull the ball back to the strike zone.
That's 4 straight. Darvish is set down. Carlos Corcoran next. 300 hitter. That's a strike on the inside part of the plate. Carlos has 2 homers. He's driven in 6.
He's been quite effective when he's gotten a chance.
Darvish has pitched shutout ball on 3 occasions of his 7 starts. Bounces the breaking pitch 1-1. Not only the game here, 8 2/3 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 14 strikeouts, but against Seattle, 7 shutout innings, and against the Angels, 6 shutout innings. And in those 2 games, he struck out 10 and 11 respectively. The 3 times he's been in double digits in strikeouts. That's pulled foul. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Let's take a look at that last strikeout pitch thrown by Yu Darvish. That's a 2-seamer. For any who have played the game, pretty easy to pick up between 2 and 4, and that's what creates that running motion that started in and then runs back to the plate. The 4-seamer, the 4 big seams, when you roll those over, will keep the ball as straight as possible.
That's low, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. His whiff percentage, so to speak, is up quite a bit compared to last year. Last year it was 28%. This year 40%. He's been throwing on a percentage basis more sliders than fastballs this year. 38% sliders, 35% fastballs, 18% cut fastballs. That's grounded to first. Moreland down on a knee. Makes it 5 straight set down by Darvish.
And I wonder what the logic would be for that change. Does it come down to maybe his arm is kind of going through a dead span right now? Talked about the velocity on the fastball down, at least for the evening.
Yeah.
He may just feel better about that slider and its possibilities. That very last pitch. Another one of those breaking balls. That's kind of an over-the-topper. I would call that a curveball myself, but some guys will throw the slider that breaks straight down.
Last time out, Darvish threw a career-high 127 pitches, but he is working with an extra day of rest since then. 222 for Carlos Pena, 3 homers. He's driven in 9. And they shift around for him. That's customary. Pena 0 for 3 last night with a walk. Peter at 94 is out of the zone. There's strike 1.
There's the first real good velocity fastball so far tonight, so maybe he's just working into that pitch.
The report on Darvish is in his last few starts throwing more sliders. He threw a slow curveball to Mike Napoli at 53 miles per hour.
Wow. It's almost the lob from Dave LaRoche back in the day.
He's been getting great run support. He's had some first inning problems, but the Astros haven't seen that. Quite a rotation for the Rangers with a 3.38 ERA, second lowest in the American League. That's a strike, and it's 1-2. And that is without their opening day starter now, Matt Harrison, who's out with back trouble.
That's bottom of the knees at best, and as a hitter you never want that one called a strike. As a pitcher you're begging for it every time.
Well, you got to worry about hitting that pitch. That could be a very short at bat against Yu Darvish. The way he's able to pinpoint.
He gets such extreme break on his slider, and he'll sail that frisbee looking wiffle ball thing up there at times.
In tight.
Yeah, he's picked up the velocity considerably here.
Darvish has lost weight, and he says he gained muscle in his upper body over the winter. Last year was his first year in the majors. He was 16-9 with a 3.90 ERA in 29 starts for the Rangers. 26 years old, from Osaka, Japan. He signed a 6-year, $60 million deal after the Rangers paid $51.7 million in a posting fee to his Japanese team. The appeal goes to third. Check swing by Pena. And that breaking ball might have been a little bit easier for Carlos to pick up, just a little bit sooner than some of the other ones we've seen.
This again is that over the topper, and it's always hard. I caught many a pitcher who threw the variety you talked about: slider, cutter, curveball, and at times I couldn't tell the difference, and I basically felt like really doesn't matter which one, they're all the same.
Cruz in right field takes care of out number 3. That's 6 in a row to open the game for Yu Darvish. 1-0 Rangers. Reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Good crowd here on a Saturday night with the pink cap giveaway. Inning number 3 begins with the center fielder Craig Gentry. Eric Bedard delivers, and it's ball 1 to Gentry, checking in at 242 with 1 homer, 6 runs batted in. Last night Gentry had a hit and a walk in 4 trips. It's up for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Bedard has 63 major league wins. He's lost 66 with a 3.92 ERA. 2 balls, 1 strike. Against the Rangers, he's 5-4 with a 3.36.
Very effective on the 2-0-2-1, coming off speed breaking balls for strikes.
Yes.
Just out in front.
That's right there for strike 3. Third strikeout for Bedard, throwing the ball well tonight.
Well, we've talked about a nice little string of starts for the Astros pitching staff, and Eric Bedard could go a long way in helping in that regard with a good one tonight.
Magadan is the hitting coach of the Rangers. He's a former Astro. Ian Kinsler's the batter. Kinsler grounded out in the first inning. There's ball 1. Well, the shutouts have just been amazing this year throughout Major League Baseball. So many dominant, well-pitched games. There's a lot of front-line pitching out there. And the bullpens just so deep in the majors right now, so hitters are having a rough year so far. And with so many teams, it's been home runs or nothing.
A couple of one-hitters yesterday, huh?
Yeah. Slowly hit, Marwin Gonzalez. 2 outs. And another gem today for the Cardinals against the Rockies. After that beautiful one-hitter by Shelby Miller last night, retiring 27 in a row after a leadoff hit by Eric Young Jr. They got a 2-hit shutout from Adam Wainwright today against the Rockies. And over one point, Miller and Wainwright retired 40 in a row. It's a tie record for their club. Well, Darvish has retired 32 of the last 33 Astros to face him. Elvis Andrus with strike one. So the pitchers are, in many cases, they're having a field day. It's been kind of an uneven performance for the hitters throughout the majors. A lot of home runs, some explosive games, but then a lot of shutdown games for pitchers too.
Yeah, that's what I felt like. As you talk about the pitching, my mind quickly reflected on a number of games where it's just been blowout time and a ton of long balls.
Yeah.
And yet, pitching has really been the larger story.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Dave Magadan was observing, the Rangers hitting coach, that he said, you know, a lot of hitters are getting into hitting counts, but then they're not swinging at good pitches. Foul back. So that's kind of a trend that he has observed this year. And for instance, the count's 1-0, and a pitcher might throw a sinker low and away, and the hitter will swing at it because he seems to be anticipating. It's 1-0. It's my count. This is my pitch, but it's not there in a good location to swing at.
So in saying not swinging at good pitches, you weren't implying that the hitter is taking a good pitch to hit.
No, he's swinging at a marginal one. Yeah. So Dave, you know, he says, well, the Rangers' philosophy, our philosophy throughout the organization, including the minor leagues, is to make the pitcher throw 3 quality pitches in an at-bat against you. That's a quality pitch, and it's strikeout number 4. And if he does, then you're caught. And that's 4 strikeouts, and it's 1-0 as Trevor Crow comes up, followed by Dominguez and Gonzalez. Rangers
up the battle for the Silver Boot and the homestand tomorrow afternoon. Don't miss any of the Lone Star Series action. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit Astros.com to get your tickets now. And the upcoming schedule for the Astros, one more with the Rangers we talked about, and then on to the road. Detroit for 3, a day off. A little golf might be had there, just maybe. 3 games in Pittsburgh against the surprising Pittsburgh Pirates club, Kansas City. And the A's will be in town here when the Astros return.
Now it's 1-0 Rangers. And Trevor Crow, who homered last night for his first home run as an Astro, first hit as an Astro, comes to the plate to lead it off in the home 3rd inning. He is 1 for 6 in a Houston uniform. And Darvish bounces that breaking pitch. It's ball 1. Tomorrow it's Jordan Lyles, 1-0 for the Astros, and Nick Tepesch, 2-3 for the Rangers. Game time 1:10 tomorrow on Mother's Day. And several Astros players' moms will throw out the ceremonial first pitch on Mother's Day. Cutter comes inside. It's 2-0 as we look at Crow from last night.
Trevor Crow launched his first home run in Astros orange. Just got it out to the Crawford boxes. A beautiful thing, and the teammates had a good time with him. That's always a great way to get yourself welcome to a ball club.
Oh, it was a big and bright Friday night for him. Crow takes that pitch. It's called a strike. That makes it 2-1. Congratulations to assistant athletic trainer Rex Jones with the Astros. He just celebrated his 35th anniversary with the organization.
Way to go, Rex.
Rex was honored on the field before the game last night. That's a fly ball to center field. Gentry backing on it. Gentry feeling for the wall. Pretty good carry for Trevor Crow.
Wow. That ball really was hit well.
And the wind is not showing much on the flags out in left center.
That looked to be all supplied by Trevor. It's a big center field. Gentry can really run, but you could see he was a little insecure about that wall coming up on him.
Yeah. Crow flies out to Gentry, and it's Dominguez next. Matt at 256 has no homers, 12 runs batted in. He just as soon fly away like he did last night. That's ball one. Darvish throwing that one pretty close to the zone.
That looked good.
He looked a little puzzled as he paused there and saw Jeff Kellogg's call a ball one. That's a fly ball. Left field. Matt Dominguez. It's a 1-1 ball game as Dominguez goes deep for the first time. He was ready to jump on that fastball. Fourth home run of the season allowed by Yu Darvish. And the Astros get on the board after he had retired 33 of 34 this season.
Dominguez has been quite steady with the bat and effective most of the time, but that long ball had not come a calling until this swing. Nice to see him get it. There's that two-seamer once again from Yu Darvish. Trying to run that ball around, and it runs in on the hands a bit, but the barrel gets there much more quickly. Very nice to see from Matt.
Dominguez picks on the big star pitches for his home runs. Guys like Aroldis Chapman, Yu Darvish. Marwin Gonzalez takes strike one. He has 3 long balls, 9 runs batted in, and a .264 batting average. Dominguez hitting #1 in the first since September 30th of last year. 135 at bats between long balls from Matt.
I don't know.
It's a good time to tie it at 1.
Yeah.
Marwin takes a look at that, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Marwin's 4 for 7 in his last 2 games. He had a bunt hit and a single to right, going 2 for 4 in last night's encounter. Alexi Ogando was the starter last night for the Rangers. He went 5 2/3, and the bullpen was spectacular. Last 10 Astros were retired in last night's game after the Marwin single in the 6th. So overall, 17 straight Astros had gone down in this series before the Dominguez homer.
Yeah, exactly.
It's RBI number 13 for Matt Dominguez. That's chopped slowly, and the pitcher comes in. Darvish bobbles and will not be able to make a throw. Infield hit from Marwin Gonzalez.
You hit it, and probably not too happy as you leave the box, start sprinting, and good things can happen. Picked up easily by Yu Darvish, but then that exchange became quite a problem.
He was rushing. Marwin, who had a beautiful drag bunt for a single in the 4th inning last night, gets another infield hit. And with 1 out, it's Robbie Grossman. He struck out on a 3-2 count earlier. His fly ball hits for Gentry in center. Gentry heads for it, and it's out number 2. So a couple of 1-pitch outs in the 1st inning for Darvish. Another one here in the 3rd, and it's Jimmy Paredes coming up next. Jimmy has a gorgeous left-handed swing. John Maley was talking about that around the batting cage tonight. He said, yes, he's technically very correct. He strides just toward the pitcher. Got that stance that's level, and from the right side it's not the same, and that's quite often the case with a switch hitter. Different swing from the other side of the plate.
You get so much more time, it seems anyway, as a switch hitter to work on the left side. You're facing many more right-handers. Tendency for that right-handed swing to not stand up. It's just so amazing to think about Pete Rose, and he was pretty darn close from both sides of the plate.
You're right. He was very consistent from both sides in his approach, his stance, and everything.
Yep.
But don't you find, and we say this all the time, but you were a switch hitter. You're 2 different players if you're a switch hitter.
Absolutely. And the guys that I've spoken to that attempted switch hitting through the years, they often felt that way. It's 2 different guys, and you have to work on each one. And a lot of times it's hard to find the time needed to work on the one that's ailing.
Back.
But you're right. This swing from the left side Jimmy Paredes looks like he can hang out some shots with this one.
You guys must feel like you're plagued a little bit by schizophrenia at times with that two different players type approach for a switch hitter.
Well, it didn't require the switch hitting thing for me to feel that way. But
there's a line shot to left. Baker over with the backhand play. Matt Dominguez, they call him Domingo. He is on the board with home run number 1. And it's 1-1 after 3. The year in the second for the Rangers. Dominguez number 1 of the year in the third for the Astros. Lance Berkman backs away. Lance hit a pop up to Carlos Pena in the first inning. That's strike 1 as the guard catches him out front. We were talking about this last night, Lance being a switch hitter, and we'll go a little bit deeper into that conversation on Jimmy Paredes and other switch hitters. Lance's swing is totally different as a right-handed batter.
completely.
Fly ball to left. Throw comes in.
Yeah, I actually like what Lance does from that right side of the plate. He'll swing down through the ball. He'll backspin balls very, very well.
Oh,
but
yeah.
he just isn't as consistently solid from that side of the plate. From the left side, he crouches over a little bit. He has a bit of the classic left-hander's uppercut swing, but it's clear that that's his natural side.
Now Adrian Beltre, he hit a homer on an 0-2 pitch. There is strike 1. Well, Jackie Moore of Bel Air, Texas, right here in the Houston area, is back home. And what a nice occasion for him. This morning he attended the graduation of his youngest son, Jonathan Moore, from HBU. Jonathan played professional baseball for a couple of years. Just got his degree from Houston Baptist University. So how lucky is that? They happen to be here in town. He didn't have to take any time off from the team, and he got to see a special moment for his family.
I think he's pulling strings. That's what I think. I had Jackie as a coach way back 77, 78, first 2 years with the Toronto Blue Jays. And he just was such an outstanding coach then. I know he still is.
1-2. Yeah. Tremendous guy, former major league manager. Managed the Oakland A's.
Players just love those coaches that give you everything they've got.
He managed Dave Kingman for the Oakland A's, Ash. 2-2 to Beltre.
Now there's a guy we've talked about with Chris Carter. It's a little bit the same. A lot of strikeouts. That long ball potential is huge.
Yeah. Beltre strikes out. That's number 5 for Bedard.
We want to remind you to tune in to Chevy Hometown Kids every Saturday morning at 9:30 on CSN. Chevy Hometown Kids, where it's not about the score, but the experience.
Do they play that music on the show?
I hope so.
What is that, a samba?
Now, does that change your mood when you know which dance you're supposed to go after?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Nelson Cruz. That's one foul. There's strike 1. Now, no player would ever have that for a walk-up song.
Well, I guess it could happen.
Well, we're reading today that when you guys get to Detroit, you might be hearing opera music for Prince Fielder as he comes to the plate. He's picked that up from Torrey Hunter, and it's going well for him.
Have you ever been mellow?
Not that way. No balls, 2 strikes. Now, Mike Maddox, the pitching coach for the Rangers, is not here tonight. His daughter, Michaela, is graduating from TCU in Fort Worth today, and he's attending that. So the Rangers have, it seems like one coach every series is away attending a graduation. In tight. 1-2.
You mentioned HBU. I used to take my kids to gymnastics practices years, decades ago.
Yeah.
Down at HBU.
Fine university. And now with a football team. Oh, it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. So the bullpen coach, Andy Hawkins, is taking over from Mike Maddox tonight.
Carlos Corporon has a kind of unique style to pull that low pitch up where he cocks the wrist in an extreme fashion. Very nice for catching the low strike.
Target is low. The pitch bounces. It's 3-2. Do you find when you're catching that low pitch, as it's coming in, you think it's going to be a borderline call for the umpire? If you reach out further away from your body and try to catch it before it sinks a little bit more, you can get a call?
Oh, that's a lot going on in your head. You know that?
There's nothing in there. There's plenty of room.
Yeah, well, there's some merit there.
Okay. Ground ball, a lazy one out to Altuve. It's a two-hopper. And it's a 1-2-3-4, and that's a nice groove for Bedard. He has set down 7 straight Rangers. Altuve will lead it off in the home 4th, 1-1.
Pink in the park at Minute Maid Park this weekend as the Astros face off against the Texas Rangers. 10,000 fans will receive a pink giveaway each night, courtesy of the Methodist Cancer Center. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com to get your tickets now. Tonight, you guys mentioned it earlier, they're giving away the awesome pink hat that I happen to love so much, and they're giving cosmetic bags tomorrow, or you can put whatever you want in it. I know you guys want one. You can put whatever you want.
We need one.
Very
really
sharp.
do.
I'll save you one.
Thanks, Julia. Bottom of the 4th inning. Jose Altuve takes from Yu Darvish, and it's ball 1. Julia, did your mom get into town?
Mom came in this morning.
Well, we were supposed to meet her.
She wanted to walk around the ballpark, check things out. She'd never been to Minute Maid Park, so
okay.
She'll be up there.
Very good. Altuve hit the first pitch in the air to center field, his first time up. It's 2 balls, no strikes.
Oh, yeah.
We have a shot of her.
Do we look alike?
She needs a new pink cap.
Well, it's going to. We need to watch this some more to answer your question.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, there's a resemblance there.
Absolutely.
There's definitely a resemblance. Altuve fouls it back. It's 2 balls and a strike. We're going to see this a little bit longer. Yeah.
She was taking pictures of me like a proud mom. Some things never change, guys.
She's very young looking.
I will tell her that. She'll
So
appreciate it.
she's been your mom for how many years now?
Brownie.
Sorry. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Never mind. You don't have to answer that. You can take the 5th.
For a few years now.
Okay. 2-2 to Altuve with Castro and Corcoran to follow. It's 3-2. Darvish is very large, 6'5" for the typical Japanese pitcher, so to speak.
He's really got that perfect pitcher's build.
He does, doesn't he? Altuve is rung up. Strike 3 call. That's the 3rd strikeout. He leaned back from it. Now he's going to make a point here with Jeff Kellogg as he departs. Very unhappy.
I don't know if anybody has a read as to what Darvish might be doing to tip off any pitches, but he can sure bend some breaking balls all over the place. Always a question on that inside corner is, did it get to the plate in time?
Mm-hmm. 3 strikeouts now for Darvish, and it's Jason Castro coming around for the 2nd time. He got caught looking first time up. All the way, strike 1. Jason and his wife Maris are kicking off their multifaceted initiative, Castro's Kids. And that began today. Reading a story from Brian McTaggart at MLB.com. We started that today at the Barnes & Noble bookstore on Holcomb in Houston with the annual Name That Book Red Carpet event. And they're working with the Houston Independent School District to provide books and incentives to encourage students to embrace literacy. Jason and his wife both went to Stanford. Fastball, strike 2. It's 2-2. Coming into this game, the Astros hitters had struck out 360 times, the most in the American League, and nobody's close. Boston had the 2nd highest number of 303. sharply but foul. And Jason was talking about, you know, it seems to us that he's hitting some tough luck. He's hit some balls hard that have been caught. So, well, it does kind of seem that way, but he was not really despondent about it. Just one of those phases hitters go through.
Sounds like a guy being a man to me.
Yeah.
Because I know how hitters feel. You're always feeling like, man, I'm swinging it better. I feel better than what that number indicates. And I'll just speak from me watching Jason Castro. He has been very good with the bat this year. The numbers say he's been pretty good.
Strikeout number 4. 3 of them have been called.
Darvish starting to pick up some of those strikeouts now, painting that one side of the plate.
He's at 49 pitches, 50 now, as you see there, for the night. Carlos Corberán next. He grounded out to the first baseman Moreland earlier. Rangers have won 13 of their last 16 here at Minute Maid Park. That's a strike call. They have gone 17-4 against the Astros since 2010. Rangers begin the night with a 5-game lead. Oakland began the day at 18-19 in second place. So Rangers, the only team in the AL West above 500. That would be a surprise for a lot of people who looked at that Angel club before this season and thought they would be very strong contenders.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk about the American League West being the toughest division in all of baseball. I think that kind of volleys around a lot of seasons.
No balls, 2 strikes. Well, you and Jeff Blum were talking about the American League East on that last road trip being so strong. There you see the AL West. Mariners 2 games under. The Angels have been a major surprise to many.
Of course, when the Astros were seeing this division a little earlier in the season, Oakland was playing great ball not only against Houston but against other clubs. They have tailed off of late. So you got that impression having seen Texas in their great pitching, and then Oakland and their offense has been at or near the top all season to this point. Looked awfully tough. Oakland is seeing how the other side lives for a little while.
The Rangers are 12-5 against the AL West. Oakland 13-4. Everybody else really fighting it. 1-2.
How about the Astros there?
Yeah, that's 2-12 against the others, huh? 8-14. So,
well, the others include again, as you were talking about, that the East certainly among them, and the Detroit Tigers from the Central.
Breaking pitch got him on strikes, and he struck out the side. That's 5 for the ball game, and through 4, it's a 1-1 tie.
He tweeted the game. It comes from Reds second baseman Brandon Phillips. He said, "Don't know how I did it, but I'm loving it. Check out this incredible play he made." How did he even do this? Barehanded, grabs it with his bare hand. You see there, had the presence of mind to get his knee on the base and then fires to first with a double play. Pretty incredible stuff. You know who else is pretty good at turning double plays? That's Jose Altuve. He leads the Major League second baseman with 37 double plays turned, guys.
Well, he has made an impression. Mr. Jim Leland watched him and was impressed. And on Washington now, watching him for the second series.
I don't know how you could not be. The guy's terrific.
Mitch Moreland leads it off in the 5th inning. 7 straight have been set down by Eric Bedard. Moreland grounded out earlier. There is strike 1 to Moreland. Moreland homered in the previous series in Milwaukee. The first 2 games of that one. Got off to a slow start, but lately he's been hammering the ball. Yeah, Altuve has been drawing rave reviews from a lot of areas this season.
Ooh. Well, that's a good looking pitch.
Yep. 1-1. Plus range at second base for Jose Altuve. Fearless on the double play. Hustles all the time. How about the run he scored in the wild pitch last night? That was phenomenal.
Great reactions. And in watching replays on that, what astounded me was how quickly he broke on it. As the ball bounced in the dirt, And I don't know, it was right in that range of hitting the catcher's glove.
Yeah.
He was gone. He was taken off.
He really was ready to.
As if he read the pitch in the air.
Right. And it's 2-2 now. I was asking the third base coach Dave Tremblay about it. He said, well, one thing we work on is, you know, in a count, you say it's a 1-2 count, and the pitcher might want to bounce a breaking ball. You have to be ready in that count for that possibility. Fly ball out to left center field. Grossman with a long run. That ball is smashed hard near the 404 sign. Then it stops at the base of the wall. And it's going to be a double for Moreland. His 9th. Hit number 2 for the Rangers.
Jose Altuve, we're talking about him. Defense isn't all about ground balls as an infielder, but some of it is great diving plays. He reacts to everything, that ability to throw while on the move. He's been amazing. And to his left, some terrific plays, and yet some people say, well, he's maybe even best to his right.
Yeah. There's not a flaw there defensively. Now Jeff Baker's the batter. He was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning. Beautiful night. Strike 1 to Baker. We've had some pretty evenings on this homestand. Nice opportunity to come out here with the roof open.
Looks like we may have turned the corner getting away from the cool evenings.
Yeah.
I should say coldish.
A little steamy this afternoon, but very pleasant right now. In fact, the roof was closed when we came in during batting practice. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. How could you deprive the fans of the opportunity to look out there at a beautiful evening?
Great evening. Is the rain all gone?
I believe so.
I knew I'd get an answer if I asked you.
It won't be. If it involves the weather, don't ask. How's the weather in Detroit?
You know, I did look to see what it was going to be in Pittsburgh because of the off day. That's a little bit later in the week, but mid-70s.
Nice.
I haven't seen Detroit.
Beautiful Comerica Park awaiting you tomorrow night. Tigers have not yet named their starters. Foul away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Apparently Justin Verlander is pitching today or tonight, so he will not be an Astros opponent in that series. The Astros will line up with Bud Norris, Lucas Harrell, and Dallas Keuchel against 3 starters to be named by the Tigers.
It's a nice ballpark, and they fill it nightly. Pretty darn close.
Spacious park. But still trying to hold the Cabreras and Fielders of the world. Good luck. That's a challenge. Ground ball third. On through by Dominguez. Moreland takes third base. Baker is on at first with nobody out. Dominguez tried to backhand it, and the ball got on by him into left field.
It's this sharply hit ground ball that takes a second hop that, to me, seems like it would be the toughest play for a third baseman. It backs you up and then eats you up in the process. Yeah, it stepped backwards, trying to get somewhere in the middle on the hop.
It went under his glove. Ruled a hit for Baker.
It's a much tougher play than you think of. As a shortstop, I think you're actually able to get more hops that you can control than a third baseman can.
Oh, now a real dilemma for Eric Bedard after the double by Moreland and the sharp single by Baker. First and third, nobody out. Giovanni Soto's the batter. He was caught looking in the 2nd inning. Gentry's on deck. Gonzalez and Altuve are set up to turn a double play. That is strike 1. Fernando Martinez has cleared waivers, and he will be outrighted to AAA Oklahoma City. So he is not on the 40-man roster. Should the Astros want to bring him back up to the big league club, they could do that by adding him to that 40-man roster later this year. And Rick Ankiel has cleared unconditional release waivers. He's free to sign with any other club. Foul back. No balls, 2 strikes. Giovanni Soto. A.J. Przinsky, who just joined this Ranger club this year, sideline with the .263 average, 4 homers, 11 runs batted in. Soto swings and misses, striking out. Big strikeout for Bedard. That's number 6.
Well, with Pierzynski's left-handed bat and that of David Murphy, who's been struggling and now platooning a bit, it's a lot less left-handed lineup.
True.
And that ball just breaking under the bat. Eric Bedard has been really spectacular here this evening.
Outstanding. Craig Gentry struck out looking in the 3rd. Rangers struggled to score on the road this year. Been a much better offensive team at home. That's strike 1. David Murphy was saying in their clubhouse before the game tonight, we know we're better than this offensively. But nonetheless, they're 7th in runs scored, not terrible. 4th in slugging in the American League. Pretty big differential, though, offensively with this club, home versus road this year. That's punch foul.
For the Texas Rangers, very good at home, not nearly as good on the road this year, and their batting average predictably up at home. That's a great ballpark to hit in Arlington, Texas. Home runs reflect that as well, and the runs per game. A lot of people say that you can't pitch well in Arlington because it's such an offensively minded ballpark, but Rangers have disproved that.
He's not biting, and Gentry takes ball 1. They certainly have. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Their home ERA, that 11-4 record, is 2.60. Road ERA 3.63 for the Rangers this year. That is phenomenal in that ball.
Those statements people throw around are not always true. Never be able to get a good pitching team in Arlington. No, they've done a terrific job.
2-2. Well, as David Murphy pointed out, some of their road games have been in cities where the weather's been cold.
Yeah.
So, you know, this time of year it's kind of worthless to try to analyze statistics like that.
But if I were playing the betting game, I would say at the end of the season their numbers, the Rangers, would be better at home playing in Arlington than in other ballparks.
Sure.
Be the logical guess.
Well, that's been the case for years now. Now it's a full count on Gentry. He's worked it back his way. Well, the wind usually blows out toward right field, right center, and then it gets hot, so the ball's going to carry better in the heat in the summer. And it's one of the top offensive ballparks in the majors in Arlington. This ballpark, pretty neutral. The first year, it was one of the best offensive parks around, but since then, things have changed quite a bit.
There was quite a fear back then that you'd never get anybody out here.
That's ball 4, and now the bases are loaded. Bedard was ahead of Gentry, and then he walked him. The bases loaded, 1 out on his first walk of the game, and Kinsler's the batter. 77 pitches for Bedard. And Bo Porter said he could throw up to maybe close to 100 maximum in this game.
Well, again, 90 last time, and usually you advance guys by about 10, maybe 15. It's double play time. That has to be the thought process. Get something on the ground again.
Well, Kinsler twice has hit the ball on the ground to shortstop. Another thing is that in that Rangers ballpark, a right-handed hitter who wants to take advantage of the park and get into a nice habit of hitting the ball to right center field where it carries so well. And that can carry over to the road games too if he's able to master that approach. Kinsler looks at it. It's strike 1 to him. Kinsler has grounded into 3 double plays this season. He's had 143 at bats. 16 of 19 first pitch strikes for Bedard. Helpling walks out from behind the plate. Not sure what's going on there. Big cut by Kinsler, and it's over.
Heater up to 92 here in the 5th inning for Bedard.
He has saved a little. Kinsler, 30 years old. He hit 19 homers last year. Back in 2009, he hit 31. And in 2011, he hit 32 bombs. 272 career average for Kinsler. And he struck him out. Bedard reached back and ripped it by him for strikeout number 7.
No playing around with the off-speed stuff there. Just hopping up and getting him. Obviously a very big second out, but that ability to still reach back, get the big fastball, put it up in the zone, run it up the ladder is a big key for Bedard here in the 5th.
Elvis Andrus is 0 for 2. Kinsler with the strikeout. That's right there for strike 1.
Nice.
Andrus is from Maracay, Venezuela. 24 years old. He signed a contract extension that will keep him with the Rangers at least through 2018. It's one of them.
Well spotted, and maybe off the edge, but a lot of times you're trying to put a baseball as close as you can off the edge of the plate.
Andrus really has not gotten hot yet this year. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. When the Astros get this kind of starting pitching, they can play some close ball games, and that's been the trend for them this year. They have gone 3 and 6 in 1-run games, but they've been in these games when they get the good start. It's ball 3, and it's 3-1 now to Elvis Andrus. He's walked only 8 times.
I don't know if Eric feels like he might have thrown a strike right here. It does feel like the strike zone has tightened up a little bit in the last inning or so. It was rather liberal early on. There's a lot of complaining going on.
Big 3-1 pitch coming for this veteran lefty. Shooting for win number 1 as an Astro. Foul and out of play, and it's 3-2 to Andrus. So 2 outs, the base is loaded. The runners move on the next one.
So Bedard comes 3-1 with the fastball and finds a lot of plate. Does he just come right back with that pitch, or does he get gutsy and try to come with a breaking ball here?
Let's go breaking ball.
You're good with that, huh? So you're going to put down some kind of bender for him.
Yep. Let's go with that slow curveball. Easy to say from here, isn't it?
It's a lot easier, that's for certain.
Challenged him, high drive right field. Jimmy Paredes back. Fastball works quite well to get out of bases loaded trouble. It's up to you, Carlos and Eric, and you execute to keep the game tied. By the Chipotle Chicken Combo. It's back for a limited time at Jack in the Box. Try one today with fries and a drink for just $4.99 plus tax. This is an absolutely spectacular night downtown in Houston, Texas. And to go with that, a tie ball game. It's 1-1, bottom of the 5th inning. It's Bedard, it's Darvish, and it's Carlos Pena leading it off in the home 5th inning. Question becoming, what about Bedard staying in this game? He's thrown 96 pitches. He just got out of bases loaded, 1-out trouble. But there's nobody warming up for the Astros, so we're getting our answer. As Pena bats for the second time, he hit a fly ball to right on a 3-2 pitch earlier. And there's ball one from Yu Darvish, who struck out the side in the 4th inning. Adam Wainwright of the Cardinals took a no-hitter to the 8th and wound up shutting out the Colorado Rockies.
What is going on with Cardinals pitching?
Boy, great question. They've had bullpen injuries this year, and the starters are just stepping it up and throwing lots of innings. 3-0 final for St. Louis as Wainwright goes to 5-2, beating Jolie Chacin. Shelby Miller retired the last 27 batters last night. 1 hitter. Yadi Molina getting a lot of credit. Bounce foul.
And well, he should. That is a terrific catcher.
Richard, make the play. Come on, Richie.
Well, is there a cause and effect with the Cardinals, and the fact that maybe the starters are being forced to get a little deeper and take it upon their shoulders?
Well, it could well be because of Jason Mott's injury, and they've had others as well in their bullpen. Zepchinski has not had a good year. He was sent to the minor leagues. But the starters have been so good, and they've had a good offense, so they're riding high right now. 2-2, but question being, will that take a toll these early innings on the starting rotation later on in the year? Cardinals now 23-12. They have the best winning percentage in the majors. Crowe and Dominguez will follow Pena to the plate here in the Astros 5th inning. Josh Fields made his first rehab appearance in the minors at Quad Cities with 2 scoreless innings. He started against Cedar Rapids and struck out 2. Now Phil Umber is playing some catch out in the Astros bullpen. Fields has been out with a strained right forearm, working his way back. Pena fouls back the fastball. Keep the count at 2-2. This whole weekend, as you see Umber warming up with all the pink, is part of the Astros' efforts to create awareness for breast cancer research with Pink in the Park Week, presented by Methodist Cancer Center. Pink-themed ladies' item is given away at the gates each game this week. Curveball comes inside. Pena checked his swing on that one, and it's 3-2 to Carlos. So both times he's worked the count full. That definitely was a check swing.
Definitely held it back behind the plate there. I really like the orange sleeves on that uniform.
Down and in, ball 4. Pena draws the first walk from Darvish. Julia?
Hey guys, Trevor Crowe coming up now. His mom and dad are both here. Mom coming in from Oregon for Mother's Day, but his dad's been in. He came in when he got called up. He's getting to see him play for the first time since 2011. Trevor said his dad's job makes it hard, so his dad told him, hey, I'll come see you when you get called back up. I'll be there. Well, Trevor said he and I both didn't know that I wouldn't have 1 day of service time in 2012. So it's been a while, but worth the wait.
Hopefully Dad's been saving up the vacation time. Looks like he might stay for a while, maybe the rest of the year. He hit a deep drive caught on the warning track in left center in the 3rd inning. A fundamentally sound player. Runner going, and it's fouled as the Astros try to put Pena in motion, and Crowe swings and fouls it.
The mere fact that you put a hit and run on in that scenario with Carlos Pena as the runner says you're counting on the hitter. So that says that Bo Porter has a lot of confidence in the ability of Trevor Crowe to get at least a piece of the baseball.
Excellent point, Ash. That's not an easy assignment against the guy who's averaging 14 strikeouts per 9 innings.
And 5 through the first 4 tonight, so absolutely not.
And Dominguez on deck. Third baseman Beltre is in on the grass. All straight back. It's no balls, 2 strikes for Trevor Crowe. Well, the Oklahoma City Redhawks won their 11th in a row at home last night, 1-0 against Tacoma. And they lead the PCL in winning percentage, 647. They're 22-12. Corpus Christi Hooks have the best record in the Texas League, 20-14. And they got a 3-home run game from Domingo Santana last night. Outside, 1-2 to Crowe.
Awfully promising when that minor league system like that starts winning on a consistent basis. This is Domingo right here as he goes to launching. And number 2. What a night in the minor leagues when you hit 3 bombs. And what are you feeling like? Are you feeling like suddenly you're on the radar for the big league club?
Line shot to right field. Cruz breaking in for it. Makes the catch. Paying you back to first. No luck for Crowe. Hit that ball hard. 3 for 4. 3 homers. 5 runs batted in for the young outfielder. That's a Corpus Christi Hooks record for homers in a game.
A lot of times you hear about those prospects that played at AA. The youngster that really has a lot of tools. Does Domingo Santana fit in as one of those guys? Based on last night, I'd say he certainly does.
Ranked up there on the prospect list. Matt Dominguez, who homered to left field in the 3rd inning, is the batter. Toss goes over first on Pena.
By the way, lost in that conversation a bit. Trevor Crowe really put up a fine at bat as he eventually lined solidly to right field.
He sure did. Breaking ball to Dominguez. Goes for ball 1. You know, Crowe on that hit and run play fouled it back. They had a good cut at it. And then fouled off another pitch. And hit the ball hard to right field. It's a pretty good at bat against this guy. It's 2 balls, no strikes to Matt Dominguez. Domingo Santana is hitting .264 for 87 at bats. He has 7 homers, 17 runs batted in now, and .964 OPS. So Crowe, well, he hit the ball hard, but Cruz was there to catch it. That's another drive left field. This has a shot at number 2 for Dominguez near that foul pole, and that's a home run, a 2-run shot for Matt Dominguez, his 2nd of the night off Yu Darvish.
Matt Dominguez has been saving up. And this is a very big one. How about that night? That doesn't display emotions very much. To see him smiling like that says a lot.
First 2 home run game of his career, and what a time for it to give the Astros a 3-1 lead.
It's like the silent treatment was in effect.
Yeah, that's great stuff. Matt hit 5 long balls in 109 at bats last year for the Astros.
Can you imagine how valuable he becomes if that power develops the kind of third baseman he is?
Gonzalez. It's a strike 1.
I don't think he'd tell you he got all of this ball, but it only matters that you get it out. Keeping it fair key as well there.
Foul ball by Marwin Gonzalez. No balls, 2 strikes. He had the infield hit back to the pitcher in the 3rd inning. Yu Darvish now, after being perfect through 8 2/3 here, 2nd game of the season, is trailing 3-1.
Unfamiliar territory for the big right-hander. Yeah, just flip that wrist over like this and The ball launched. It is so fun when you start hammering home runs.
What a night for Matt Dominguez. A couple nights ago, he made 3 errors in that game. He said he couldn't even remember making 2 errors in a game. But he drove in 3 Thursday night against the Angels, and he's driven in 3 here. So 2 3 RBI games to tie his major league high in the last 3. Strikeout number 6.
Matt Dominguez, this is number 2. Man, does this catch the pole going by? Yeah. Well, he does put it right down the line, and it hits the actual pole itself and kicks toward foul territory. That is the way to do it.
We're going to Chick-fil-A. That's right.
That is that foul pole.
Folks can bring their ticket stubs from this game into a Chick-fil-A and get a free chicken sandwich. Ball 1 to Robbie Grossman. At least I hope they still can if we're sending them all there now. 2 balls and no strikes.
Don't show up all at once now. Spread yourselves out a bit.
Well, Chick-fil-A sponsors the foul poles. So Matt Dominguez is feeding the masses and giving the Astros the lead. It's 3 balls and no strikes. He's a popular guy tonight.
Better be. He takes it in stride, though.
He looks like a guy who has no earthly idea that he's about to send 25,000 people to Chick-fil-A for a free chicken sandwich.
Well, he must be aware, right? He's just not hungry himself right now.
Well, he's aware of one thing. It's his first 2 home run game in the majors, and it's the 5th inning. What a feeling. Grossman takes a walk. Now that's the 2nd of the inning for Darvish. Well, Pena, who worked hard for that walk on the 3-2 count, rode home on the Dominguez homer. And now Andy Hawkins comes out. Again, Mike Maddox is away for graduation of his daughter from college at TCU. So Andy Hawkins has moved from the bullpen coaching job to assume pitching coach duties tonight. Minor league pitching coordinator Danny Clark is in the bullpen for one night.
It's got to be kind of tough when you have that just fill in role as the pitching coach, and you've got to go out to the mound and say something that stands up to what the everyday pitching coach has to say when he goes to the hill.
Yeah. Now he's allowed to be out there with an interpreter, right? You're talking to Darvish.
I think that's why Giovanni Soto was out there.
Okay. Hopefully Giovanni knows Japanese. Jimmy Paredes is 0 for 2. He's grounded to second and lined to left. Well, from what we're told, Darvish understands English very well. That's cracked in the ground foul, strike 1.
Imagine he also understands that not many guys have hit 2 home runs against him on a night.
That's for sure. There's a large media contingent following Darvish and the Rangers around from Japan and reporting on all of his various moves every minute of every day. There's just an insatiable appetite in Japan, we're told, for the exploits of Japanese-born major leaguers, and it's been that way ever since the beginning of Japanese players coming. I think it was Masanori Murakami, the first Japanese-born player with the Giants.
Are those the K's?
Those must be the K's, Japanese K's.
Yeah.
And Sony, they're the camera maker. They're Japanese. Pitch out, the runner going, and the throw is there early to get a sliding Robbie Grossman. As the Rangers call a pitch out at just the right time for them, but a timely home run by Matt Dominguez, his 2nd of the night, has given the Astros a 3-1 lead through 5.
Their home unbeaten streak on the line this Sunday against the Sporting KC. Coverage begins Sunday night at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet Plus.
Lance Berkman leads it off, 3-1 Astros. Eric Bedard delivers, and it's ball 1 to Berkman, who's 0 for 2 in this game. This is quite a night. Beautiful night for baseball. Great night for Matt Dominguez. 2 homers. 3 runs batted in. Bedard is pitching well. And Orbit has turned out to be a matchmaker. There's just a proposal in the stands, and Orbit was involved in getting the happy couple together, apparently.
What's he hanging his head for?
Not sure. Not sure. Doesn't look like such a happy mascot right now. 1-2.
Hope he wasn't trying to steal her away.
There are the congratulations for the happy couple. Ground ball, and that trickles. Altuve can't stop it from becoming a hit to right field, and a 17-game hitting streak at Minute Maid Park for Lance Berkman. He just rolled it through the right side.
There's that downward stroke that we were talking about earlier from the right side. It can slash some balls. This takes advantage here.
And with that hit, Bo Porter comes out to the mound now. Bedard has thrown 90 pitches, and that's it for him. And he did a whale of a job tonight. I guess this lineup leaving with a 3-1 lead for Eric Bedard, shooting for his first win as an Astro. The crowd very appreciative of Bedard's effort tonight. And we'll be right back. Over the Rangers, and Eric Bedard's been a big part of it.
90 pitches for a second straight outing for Eric, and I'm sure he wanted to get a chance to throw a few more pitches on the night, but what a job he did with the pitches he did throw. This is one of those starts that really jumps out for you, realizing how important it is on this evening against the Texas Rangers. Again, a good offensive club. And he looked like he was disappointed coming off. I imagine he was thinking, get me through 6 at least, but nice to see what he has done.
He's relieved by Philip Umber, who started the 3rd game of the year against the Rangers. Facing Adrian Beltre, who's 1 for 2, a homer. They strike 1 for Umber, Texas native, who lost that game here April 3rd, 4-0, but pitched well. And in 35 innings, he has an ERA of 8.49. He's allowed 52 hits, walking 14, fanning 19. But pitched well in relief against the Angels 2 nights ago. Travis Blackley warming up now. Curveball in the dirt makes it 1-1. So Umber, after making those 7 starts and losing all of them, sent to the bullpen, and completely understanding of that move after his last start against the Tigers last Sunday. A 9-0 loss in which he allowed 8 runs in 4 innings, gave up 3 homers, but nonetheless bounced back well in a tight ball game in relief against the Angels. That's fouled away, and Bo Porter liked his aggressiveness in that relief outing. He went an inning and a third. Came in with a couple of men on base, didn't give up a run. And there you have the starting pitchers the last 4 games.
And they've done a nice job. And Dallas Keuchel last night, that was just excellent work. But as you go down the line, the guys have gotten into ball games a little deeper than we were accustomed to seeing, and I think it's going to pay very nice dividends for this pitching staff.
Good action on that one. And Beltre is down on strikes.
In that recent outing a couple of days ago for Umber, 3 strikeouts in that inning and a third, so picks one up immediately this evening.
Good confidence builder for him, and every chance of working his way back into the rotation, as Bo Porter told him when he went to the bullpen. Nelson Cruz is 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out. Breaking news: Philip Umber has changed his uniform number tonight.
Yeah.
There's ball 1.
Roger Clint. Well, let's see. What was Roger's number? 22.
22. Yes.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember if Andy Pettit was 21. You know, We used to remember all the uniform numbers, didn't we?
As a kid,
we knew everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ever since there was no, well, I don't know how long that would be since I wasn't a kid, but in recent years, it's much more difficult to remember numbers on players.
Oh, yeah.
I could tell you some of the most obscure number player combinations from way back.
Okay.
Well, I could if I chose to. Well,
go ahead.
Well, things like, I mean, it's easy. I grew up in Southern California, Dodger fan.
Yeah.
Sandy Koufax, 32. Don Drysdale, 53. Those are so simple, but
right.
Jim Jr., Gilliam, 19. I can just reflect, and it's right there. But if you ask me anything in the last 30 years, I don't have a chance.
Sure. We did check back. Andy Pettitte did wear number 21. Fly ball. That's hit well. A long way back for Grossman. Grossman all the way back at the wall, and that one is into the bullpen for a tying 2-run homer for Cruz. And Cruz unloads number 9 of the season, and his second in as many nights. The Cruz fans of the Texas Rangers chanting his name as he steps on home plate and ties this game to give him 27 runs batted in.
Well, it's been a night of the long balls. Pitch just simply left up, out on that outer third. And this big man can hit him a ton any part of the park. Well, let's not get anybody injured in the bullpen.
I've had a lot of carries. 3 runs on 4 hits now for the Rangers. Mitch Moreland the batter, so Bedard's win is gone. In 5 innings, he allows 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. Moreland with strike 1, fouling it back. And it's so difficult for Umber, who comes in with that 0-7 record, that high ERA, but thinking, hey, I'm working in relief here. Bedard's win is on the line, and now he's giving that up.
Well, what are you thinking if you're Eric Bedard? If not for that little ground ball hit by Lance Berkman that squeaks through the right side, maybe stay on and finish the 6th.
That's ball 1. It's 1-1. Astros relievers are 1-8 with a 5.01 ERA. Does not take away the excellent work that Bedard put in tonight. It's a 2-ball, 1-strike count. By the way, there was an announcement before this inning about the home run by Matt Dominguez that hit the foul pole. So folks who have the ticket stubs from this game can take them into a Chick-fil-A restaurant on Monday and get a free chicken sandwich. Chick-fil-A is closed on Sunday. High drive, deep center field. This one sends Grossman way back, way up on Taos Hill, and that one rolls all the way to the top of the hill. Here's Moreland headed for third base, and the relay throw is wide. Moreland's in with a triple, his first.
Great effort by Robbie Grossman. I wonder, as that ball landed on Taos Hill out there, if that brought back memories to Lance Berkman.
Oh, yeah.
That's a bolt to hit it to Taos Hill. Yeah, breaking hard. At this point, it's just hoping you can get to the baseball. He's thinking, you got to be kidding me. I hit a ball that hard and far, and it's not out of here.
Still had to turn it on after hitting it all that way. Second major league triple, his first since April 5th of 2011 for Mitch Moreland. Oh, 1 out. He's at third in the infield, moving in, and it's going to be David Murphy pinch hitting for Jeff Baker. Murphy came in for Baker last night. Baker homered in the 7th, and Murphy was batting in the 9th, and he homered. So both left fielders went deep last night. Now he's trying to drive in Moreland as he bats for Baker. Infield moves in. Murphy's hitting 193. He has 3 homers, 8 runs batted in, no pinch hit at bats. Last night he had come in defensively, so when he batted it was not as a pinch hitter. Strike one to Murphy. Murphy's on a 5-game hitting streak, 5 for 14. Happy to be sleeping in his own home here. His parents' home, I believe he said. Strike, 0-2. It's always a special time, and he has always hit well in this ballpark when he's come back. David was drafted by Boston in the first round in 03. Texas got him in a trade in 07. Number missing there as a 1-2 count. David was born in Houston, but his parents lived in Spring and went to Klein High School and Baylor University. Dave Clark is positioning his left fielder right now, Trevor Crow. If he looks at it from under, it's ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's slicing inside the left field line, and that gives the Rangers a 4-3 lead. The fan reaches over and interferes with it, and that's going to be ruled a double for Murphy. So again tonight, Ron Washington gets production from both left fielders, Baker and Murphy, and they have a 1-run lead.
This is one of those little card jobs right here. Even Murphy didn't know he had a hit to begin. Oh, that's you surprise yourself sometimes, and it is a glorious surprise when it drops fair there. See, one fan raised his arms, the other decided, I want that baseball.
Well, he clanked it. Doug Brocail went out. Giovanni Soto's next. Soto's 0 for 2, 2 punch outs. Hector Ambrose was not available out of the bullpen last night. Wesley Wright worked an inning, and Paul Clemens 2/3, and Travis Blackley 1 1/3 in last night's game. It's only the 6th inning, so the Astros are hoping to get more outs from Philip Humber. As Soto batting for the 3rd time, he has 2 strikeouts on the card. That's ball 1. Rangers have been awfully rough on the Astros, going 22-6 against Houston since 09. That one almost hit him on a breaking ball. 2 balls, no strikes. The Rangers have hit for the cycle in this inning. So their .786 winning percentage against the Astros is the best in baseball for one team against another since 09, with at least 25 games. It's 3-0. Leonis Martin is on deck. Strike. With Bull Porter moving from a left-handed starter to a right-handed reliever. Now the counter moves for Ron Washington are removing right-handed batters and putting left-handed batters in for them here against the right-hander Umber in this 6th inning.
One of the most difficult things in this sport to do might be pitching from behind successfully, and you get those 2-0, 3-0 counts. Even if you have very good stuff, it's hard to succeed.
That's a walk.
You never know what you might win, but here's how you can try. Just watch Sportsnet Central every night in May at 10 p.m. or after the game to learn our word of the night. Then log on to csnhouston.com for a chance to win cash, prizes, and a whole lot more. Play Words on CSN every night in the month of May.
What's our word for tonight, Ash?
You know, I didn't get that one, but rally might be our word tonight.
Jose Cisnero is warming up. Runners at first and second, 1 out. Leonis Martin, the pinch hitter for Craig Gentry. Gentry was 0 for 1 with a walk. Martin takes ball 1. Martin is 25 years old. He's from Cuba. .254, 1 homer, 2 runs batted in. He hit only .174 in 46 at-bats with the Rangers last year. Rangers signed him as a free agent in 2011 to a 5-year, $15.5 million contract. Fouled away, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Reading a story about Yoenis Cespedes the other day, Ash. Another Cuban native who has been wildly successful with the Oakland A's. And
he's a talented player.
Yeah, the story was just talking about what a great job the A's did of scouting him in international tournaments and then signing him. Line shot left center field. That's going to scoot. It's going to go all the way to the bullpen wall. That's going to score 2 runs to make it 6-3. And into third base, Martin. A triple for Martin. So the pinch hitters, Murphy, RBI double. Martin, 2-run triple. Really come through for Ron Washington here in the 6th inning.
2 triples in an inning for these Texas Rangers to go along with the other stuff. And slice it into that gap in left center field, and it goes to a big part of the park. See that ball slicing away from the center fielder? Just like a golf ball.
Second triple for Martin this season. It's been a 5-run 6th inning now on 5 hits and a walk. Now the infield is in for Ian Kinsler with 1 out. Pop back and out of play. There's strike 1. Philip Umber could be 0-8 by the end of the night. Still a lot of baseball to go. Breaking pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's going so well for Eric Bedard. Rangers can be an explosive team. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Kinsler.
You know what a frustrating phrase in this game is? It's in life sometimes, I guess, but it's used a lot. You get a Philip Umber, pitched very well. The game gets away here in the 6th inning, and guys will come up there and say, hang with them, hang in there. Boy, it just wears you out.
Altuve backpedals and makes that catch.
All well intended, but you get to a point in this long season where you feel like, I don't want to hear that anymore.
Yeah. Becomes a real crisis of confidence for a player who's slumping. Elvis Andrus is 0 for 3. Rangers now batting around with Andrus, the 9th man to come up here in this frame. Berkman's on deck. That's strike 1. Berkman started it with that single that barely made it through the right side of the infield, and then rode home on the tying homer by Cruz. 0-2. Umber, if he can get that pitch going, no kidding, that's a good one for him.
He's got a great looking sinker. Location betrays. He's got a good looking pair of breaking balls, and same story.
Good stop there by Corp. 1-2.
A couple of catchers with the Astros that'll really battle him.
Hammered into center field to make it 7-3. That pitch right up where Andrus could do something with it. And he drove in his 12th of the year. 6 runs home in the inning.
There's that betraying location.
Martin scores a run. That's going to be it for Umber. Rough inning for him. There it is, right in the happy zone.
Can't get much more centered up in the strike zone than that.
Oh, 2/3 of an inning for Philip Umber, and crooked numbers. We go to Julia.
Guys, you come to me at a fun time here. I've got Progressive Fan of the Game right here. And this is Sophia. And she's hiding because we are a little scared of Orbit. Everything was good, guys. We had a whole conversation planned out for you guys. We're going to talk about how much we love the Astros. But and you see him. He has perfect timing. He's pulled up right in front of us. He doesn't know what's going on. And I tried to tell her he's very friendly. She's not having it. But her and her family are a Progressive Fan of the Game. We're having fun anyway. She's not crying. She's a little scared. She's hiding from Orbit.
You can settle her down, Julia.
I'm working on it.
He is green after all.
I told her he was just taking pictures, but he's managed to find the perfect time to come up right as she was about to make her debut on TV. It's okay. It's okay. We'll have to give her another shot another night when she comes back.
Well, maybe you can work her another way, Julia, and just tell her, think about Orbit. Think about that guy. It's not easy being green.
Kermit said that, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Very good. Jose Cisnero warming up. Fan of the Game brought to you by Progressive. Cisnero is pitcher number 3 of the night for the Astros, and he has been idle for several days now as one of the long men in the bullpen. In 5 games, he has no decisions. His ERA is 5.73.
Boy, he came out on like a house of fire with the Astros, and he's had a rough outing or two since, but his stuff will stand up.
Well, in this season of learning for the Astros young players, he has an opportunity to do that. In his first outing, as you mentioned, he really started out well. First outing with the Astros was here against Seattle, April 22nd. He came in with the Astros trailing 7-0 in the 5th inning, and he worked 3 2/3 innings of scoreless baseball, throwing 47 pitches. Last time out for him was last weekend. It was Saturday night in that 17-2 shellacking by the Tigers. He worked 2 2/3 innings, allowing 8 hits, 6 runs.
Yeah, that really is the only time he's been touched up.
Faces Lance Berkman now, who started this 6-run inning with a single right field, batting right-handed. Now he turns around. Runner takes off. Corcoran with a throw. The tag by Gonzalez. And Andrus has gone down. That ends the top of the 6th for the Rangers. They score 6 runs on 6 hits, and it's 7-3.
He is celebrating 11 years. Join the millions of fans and subscribe today. Watch every out-of-market game live online on your favorite mobile and connected devices in HD quality with MLB.TV Premium. Visit MLB.TV. Baseball everywhere.
Well, the Rangers' big 6-run 6th inning now paves the way for Yu Darvish to take the mound with a 4-run lead. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning is Jimmy Paredes, with David Murphy taking over in left field and Leonis Martin in center. Paredes is 0 for 2. He was at the plate when Grossman was thrown out trying to steal, and there is ball 1. For Philip Umber, it was 2/3 of an inning of work tonight. 5 hits, 5 runs allowed. Walking 1, striking out 1. In tight for Darvish. That brings the count to 2 balls, no strikes. Darvish trying to tie the league leaders in wins in the American League. Matt Moore of Tampa Bay, Clay Buchholz of Boston with 6. Strike makes it 2-1. Darvish is just out of the top 10 coming into this game in the American League in earned run average at 2.56. The leader, Felix Hernandez, has a 1.53. That one goes foul. Jimmy Paredes hits it a long way foul. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tiny ERAs for the league leaders here early in the year. Strike 3 call. Jeff Kellogg rings it up. It's number 7. And that is an important strikeout for Yu Darvish as far as a milestone. He has now become the second pitcher in Major League history to record at least 300 strikeouts in his first 37 Major League starts. Dwight Gooden is the only other pitcher to do that.
That's pretty darn good company.
Jose Altuve is 0 for 2 with a fly ball and a strikeout looking. That's ball 1. Gooden struck out 319 in his first 37 Major League starts in 84 and 85. Kerry Wood 299. Deo Nomo 297 in their first 37 starts.
Gooden could bring you that high heater 95 plus and then throw a curveball that started right at the same plane.
Yeah.
And right over the top.
Well, those were classic duels in the playoffs in '86 with Gooden and the Astros pitching staff.
Nolan Ryan, Mike Scott, even Bob Knepper.
There's a drive to center field. Martin heads way back for this Altuve long fly ball and catches it on the warning track. 2 outs. Altuve unloads one. He hit that ball a ton off Darvish.
You have to remember when you get those little bleeders that sneak through for hits that they make up, allegedly, for these bombs that you hit that wind up with nothing to show.
Jason Castro twice has been caught looking tonight. Now there was that 1-0 game on that Glenn Davis homer in those '86 playoffs.
Yeah.
It was in '87 when Gooden faced the Astros at the Dome. Billy Doran stole home on him. Strike to Castro.
Billy D was dealing in those days.
Yes, he was. Gooden was phenomenal. What was he, 24 and 4 in his rookie season, first full year?
I believe so, and he was just almost unhittable.
Rolled out slowly to Beltre's left. That turns out to be a 1-2-3-6 for Darvish. A 7-3 lead for the Rangers.
Rangers. Some of you watching this game right now don't have CSN in your own home. If your TV provider doesn't carry a CSN yet, call and tell them you want CSN so you can have the very best coverage of your Astros. This is your network, Astros fans. You deserve it. To get the facts, go to iwantcsnhouston.com, guys.
Thanks a lot, Julia. 7-3 Texas on top. To the top of the 7th inning. Lance Berkman will lead it off. You may recall that Lance was at the plate as we ended the 6th inning. As Lance stood in, Elvis Andrus took off for second base. A perfect throw from Carlos Corporon to throw him out. That ended the inning. So Lance will lead it off here in the 7th. And Brownie's back in the fold.
Your turn next time, pal.
Yeah?
You get over it. Well, Lance 1 for 3. And there's strike one. We were talking around the batting cage. You know, Dave Magadan played for the Astros in '95, and we were talking about the last day of that season. That's before Lance came up. Lance came up in '99. 1-1. And Mags remembered the final game of the '95 season when he was playing with the Astros at Wrigley Field. And the Astros had a great come from behind win, and they still had a shot at the playoffs that day. So did the Rockies. But both teams came from behind to win that day. So the Rockies went to the playoffs and the Astros went home. And Dave had very vivid memories of that, of course. 2-2. But the Astros, I think he said, trailed 5-0. Came back to beat the Cubs. Or it was 6-0. And the other way, the Rockies trailed either 5-0 or 6-0. They came back to win their game. The Astros were sitting around the clubhouse in Wrigley waiting to see what the Rockies did as far as whether they would hop on a plane and go to the playoffs or hop on a plane and go home. They went home because the Rockies had their own great come from behind win. That was just amazing drama, that last game of the season.
Those can be so good. The Texas Rangers had drama play out late last year. It wasn't quite as thrilling for them and their fans.
deep shot to left center field by Berkman. That will hit way up. That is a massive home run for Lance Berkman. Number 3 of the season.
Well, we talked about Lance Berkman, left-handed versus right-handed. This left-handed swing has stood up and been among the best in the game for a long time now. If he stays healthy, he's going to provide a whole lot of what Josh Hamilton was supposed to have provided for Texas. Lance is doing it very well.
No doubter. He crushed that one. Cisnero with ball 1 in on Beltre. Beltre went deep in the second inning. He's 1 for 3. So the Rangers have 3 more bombs tonight. They hit 3 last night. And Berkman continues to tattoo pitching against the Astros, and also when he's here at Minute Maid Park. That's his 6th career homer against the Astros. He's hitting .444 against Houston. 1 ball, 1 strike. Foul back, and it's 1-2. Lance has reached base now twice tonight in 4 tries. So in 12 of his last 20 plate appearances, he's reached base against the Astros this year. 17-game hitting streak at Minute Maid Park. That includes his final 3 home games as an Astro. Now in 14 games as an opposing player, 9 with St. Louis, 4 with Texas. And that's his longest hitting streak ever in this ballpark.
I imagine coming back home here for Lance and hitting a bomb like that has to be extremely special, more so than likely other yards that he goes to.
Cisnero gets a foul ball from Beltre. Still 3 balls, 2 strikes. Lance signed a 1-year deal with a vesting option with the Rangers.
Keeps playing like this, they're going to have to lock him up to a multi-year deal after the year.
Punched on the line to right field. Jimmy Paredes over with the catch. 1 out.
Nelson Cruz coming to the plate, and he's been pretty darn good last night. This Albert Pujols-like bomb to left field off the glass might have been higher off the glass than that rocket Pujols hit. And tonight, right center field launches one to the Astros bullpen, and a big part of why the Rangers have taken the lead.
That one's in the air, foul. Carlos Pena comes over for this Cruz pop-up. Goes back out of play, strike 1. Cruz tied the game with a 2-run homer in the 6th. Berkman now, as an opposing player at Minute Maid Park, is 26 for 55.
That'll do in a pinch.
Boy. No balls, 2 strikes.
He's in the easy chair right now.
Just DHing. He forgot to bring his glove to spring training. Struck him out looking.
I could actually picture Lance, when called upon to go play a position, saying, I didn't bring a glove, Skip.
Yeah. Conveniently forgot. Now Cisnero works to Mitch Moreland. Moreland has a double and a triple tonight. 2 for 3. 10 hits for the Rangers, including 3 homers, 2 triples, and 2 doubles. It's a hard hitting night. Good total base night for them. Ball 1.
A night that started very well pitched by Eric Bedard.
You could almost see it on his face, couldn't you, when he came out of the game, that, you know, Berkman had trickled that single through the right side of the infield. He left with a 3-1 lead, but it was almost a look of, I didn't go deep enough. He threw 90 pitches, though. in tight for a ball. That makes it 2-1.
Now, Bo Porter, like so many managers, wants to get guys out with positive nights, and I imagine Bo was thinking, okay, one more inning if you can make it happen. First man reaches, and let's keep it positive and get him out of there right now.
Exactly.
Got to be one of the tough moments for any manager when you're trying to protect a guy, help him out, and it just doesn't work out.
Yep. There's the player, and then there's the team to consider.
But those individual players help your team be, better when it's all said and done, obviously.
Yes.
I just think that there are moments that can really hurt a manager. Just that inner feeling.
Well, he's done that twice with Jordan Lyles. Jordan twice has gone 5 innings, and he's left with the lead. Got a win last time out. Foul back.
This is what Bedard looked like right after coming out of the ball game, and he's shaking hands and the whole bit, but it's frustration probably at a bare minimum.
Yeah. He just doesn't look all that happy about it.
I can do better.
Change up. Good pitch. And Moreland's down on strikes. The home run by Berkman puts the Rangers up now 8-3 in the 7th.
Hey, sports fans, join the Texans' Owen Daniels at Lucky Strike on May 20th for his Kingpin Classic. For more information, visit owendaniels.org. Guys.
Thanks, Julia. Beautiful sky out there in the distance. And the fans are enjoying their 7th inning stretch, singing Deep in the Heart of Texas. Nice breeze coming through the ballpark.
How about that for a beautiful evening?
It is. Good night to be out. $27,988 the paid attendance tonight at Minute Maid Park. Carlos Corcoran leads it off in the home 7th inning. It's 8-3 Rangers. He's 0 for 2. Ground ball, and Moreland is there. And Darvish gets another 1 pitch out. He's thrown 88 pitches tonight. 52 have been strikes by Darvish.
Darvish is a difficult guy, in my opinion, to try to make a plan that says let's take a lot of pitches early, because when he does get ahead, we have seen what he can do with that slider. So if he gives you a strike fastball early in the count, probably your best opportunity to drive the baseball.
He's yelling over to Elvis Andrus, who is now moving up the middle on Carlos Pena. Now he's moving away up the middle. I don't think Elvis was looking at who was in the box yet, and Yu was trying to tell him, hey, pal, you don't need to be there for him. Pena hit a fly ball to right, and he walked. There's ball 1. Yeah, the pitcher, in order to make a shift work, has to hit his spots. And it would be distressing to him to hit his spot and have the shortstop about 20 yards out of position. So Elvis got with it. He moved.
And he says, oh, I can make the move. I can play it on the backhand.
Yeah. Elvis was somewhere out in blue Hawaii at the time, and you brought him back to reality. Trevor Crow's on deck. Did you have a favorite Elvis movie?
Boy, you put me on the spot. I never got into the Elvis thing a whole lot. I'm not saying I don't like Elvis, for those who are going to get offended right away. I never got into the whole Elvis thing. How about you?
Did he have any good movies?
See, now that might have been the smarter way to go about that. Thanks for helping me.
Not sure. It's all a matter of opinion, right? Well, the Astros guys did some movie reviewing at the Fan Cave.
That's what I hear.
Yeah. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We should have asked them, because there's that ruling committee of the Astros who reviews movies. Bud Norris and Lucas Harrell.
Bud's the head of that, right?
I think so. I'm not too sure though. I think if you're the opening day starter, you're a ringleader of a lot of things on the club, right?
Probably get to make all those lofty decisions.
It's 3 balls, 2 strikes to Pena. So all 3 times Carlos has had full counts tonight. His pitch count per at bat is going way up, Ash.
And that's one of those stats a lot of people like to look at. It's validation of a guy who's patient and waits till he gets his pitch.
Holloway still 3-2. Final game of the series tomorrow.
Sometimes you wind up fouling off your pitch a number of times.
Well, you've seen guys stand up there for 20 minutes and foul off pitches, right?
We're getting there.
Richie Ashburn was one of those.
Are you trying to imply that I played against Richie Ashburn?
No. No, you didn't. Pena takes a walk, his second of the night. And that's number 3 for Darvish.
I'm trying to think of who the best was I saw in that regard in days that I played. I remember stories about Richie Ashburn that he could foul off pitches at will. He was trying to foul them off. Wow. Boy, you got to be good to do that.
Very good to do that. Trevor Crowe hit a warning track fly ball to left center and then lined out to right. The Astros on this homestand have scored 13 of their 27 runs on long balls. The guy who's driven in all 3 of their runs on long balls, Matt Dominguez, is on deck. Bouncer slowly hit. Kinsler lost the handle and whoa, he threw it away then. And now here goes Pena for third without a throw. Kinsler dropped it and then tried the ill-advised throw and winds up with error number 6 of the year. Double error. 1 for fielding and 1 for throwing. So give him 7 errors for the year now.
Yeah, that last part of it where he tries to make the throw in haste back to first base, a big mistake. I liked what he was trying to do to get that lead out at second and help his pitcher out. Just a night where the exchanges to the bare hand have been tough.
Well, he had his body in that position to be able to make that spin move and throw back to second, but then he didn't make the pickup. But yeah, that's one of those things that's just try it and see how easy that is. He was trying to get his footwork down so he could make the spin move, and so there's a lot going through an infielder's mind on a play like that. Jason Frazier warming up in the bullpen for Texas right now. So as he approaches the ball, he's trying to get his feet in that position, and then he doesn't pick up the ball. As we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. In the 3rd inning, Matt Dominguez hit a home run to left field through the archway. And then in the 5th inning, he hit a 2-run shot off the Chick-fil-A. Foul pole free chicken sandwiches for everybody on Monday, who brings a ticket stub from this game into a Chick-fil-A restaurant.
On that last one, shouldn't he have been doing the Carlton Fisk thing?
Yeah, definitely. Had a little tail on that. There's strike 1 to Dominguez. Now, if he does it this time, we've got a story here.
7th inning. Could lead to some drama in the 9th, huh?
It really could. 2 men on base.
Well, on top of that, it would make it a 2-run ball game right now, so that would be large.
That would be. And well, here's a guy batting 8th. He's taken Yu Darvish deep twice. Darvish had given up 3 homers all season coming into this game in 45 2/3 innings. So he could join that select group of Astros who have homered 3 times in a game. It's been done 12 times over the 51 years of this club. Foul back. It's been done by Jimmy Wynn, Lee May, Glenn Davis twice, Jeff Bagwell 3 times, Vinny Castilla, Lance Berkman, Richard Hidalgo, Morgan Ensberg, Carlos Lee.
That's a pretty good list right there.
It is a good list. But I'll bet none of those guys was batting 8th.
No?
That is a rarity. It's 1-2.
What did Richard Hidalgo burst onto the scene at one point there?
You know, he came up as a center fielder. He was good in center field. 102 pitches for Darvish. He and Bobby Abreu were coming up about the same time.
I was working as a minor league manager at that time.
Oh, he swung at a breaking ball in the dirt, struck out. That's number 8 for Darvish. Did you manage Richards?
I did a little instructional ball at the end of the 06 season, I believe, and Richard was there.
Yeah.
Bobby Abreu was there. Leave at that time. And of course that was the big story, and the two of them kind of became tied together because Bobby was allowed to get away.
Yes.
And became a huge star. Of course, Richard became a huge star, just not as long tenured.
Marwin Gonzalez is 1 for 2, an infield hit tonight. Richard Hidalgo hit 44 homers the first year here in this ballpark, then called Enron Field in 2000. Big time year for Richard. There's ball 1. He came back last year as part of the 50th anniversary celebration. He lives still in the Kissimmee, Florida area.
Richard does.
Yep. He has come to a few spring training games down through the last few years. Time called by Marwin Gonzalez. You know, another guy who at last report lived in Kissimmee, Tony Eusebio.
Yes, I was going to ask if Tony was there as well.
I don't remember the last time he came to a spring game, but he's been around.
He used to run into Cesar Cedeno down there.
High chop. Moreland stabs it. Goes to first. In the 7th inning, it's no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 2 men left after 7, 8-3 Rangers.
Move on to the 8th inning. Create memories, save money, and have fun with Astros baseball. No matter what your special event, we will create an experience your group is sure to remember. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit Astros.com to find out more.
There they are up in a suite having a good time. And it's 8-3. The Rangers come up here in the 8th inning. 27,988 the paid attendance on a Saturday night. And the Astros won't go to Arlington until July for their first trip of the 3. David Murphy came off the bench and had a pinch RBI double first time up. There's ball 1 to Murph. 8-10-2 for Texas, 3-3-0 for Houston. It's a 2-ball no strike count for Jose Cisnero, who has a chance now to learn a lot as he goes through his first major league season. Altuve to his left, drops the ball, recovers, throws him out. Good recovery for out number 1. You know, that's another really good trait that Altuve has. He plays hard no matter what the score is.
What's going on around the infield tonight with all the handling of the baseball with the glove and then can't make the transfer? Nice job by Altuve to eventually get the out on that play.
Yeah, he stayed with it.
Yeah, you know what I see when I watch Jose Altuve is one of these gym rat kind of kids that just loves playing the game. Every phase, every inning.
You got it. Giovanni Soto back to the mound. Cisnero gets him out. 2 down. He's retired 5 in a row after a home run by Berkman. Leonis Martin is the batter. He had the 2-run triple in the 6th inning. Well, the Astros have had quite a few changes, as you know, to their pitching staff along the way this season, giving Cisnero a chance to come up as a part of that process. Jose's 24 years old. He's from the Dominican. He was at Corpus Christi and Oklahoma City last year. Strike one. Cosart continues to develop at AAA Oklahoma City. Foul back, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. And with a guy like Jared Cosart, the Astros probably wouldn't want him in the bullpen, as Cisnero is right now. It's 1-2.
No, I would certainly imagine that if Cosart gets called up, he's here to start.
And Cosart's numbers are good at AAA. Numbers don't tell the entire story, though, on a minor league prospect.
Has a big league arm.
Cosart is 4-0 with a 2.18 ERA. In 33 innings, he's allowed 25 hits. He's walked 14 and fanned 39. Shot to first. Pena tossing to Cisnero, and he's retired 6 in a row in the middle of the 8th inning. The Rangers lead at 8-3. We'll have Jason Frazier on the mound. Meanwhile, what is happening? We mentioned Oklahoma City. Asher Wojciechowski, 2 starts after being moved up from Corpus Christi. Very good results. Brett Wallace is hitting .314 with 5 homers. Good RBI ratio per games played. Jonathan VR, after a very slow start, has outstanding numbers. And Mark Krause is hitting for power for the Red Hawks.
We saw Mark Krause hit for power with the Astros during spring training. Nice to see VR getting going and playing great baseball. Brett Wallace, well, he had gotten lost here at the start, and nice to see him get it turned around.
Yes, it is. Bottom of the 8th inning coming now. Here's Frazier, who was with the Blue Jays, and he comes over in 12 games with the Rangers with no wins or losses and an ERA of 3.00. Robbie Grossman leads it off against him. Robbie's 0 for 2 with a walk. Paredes and Altuve to follow. Strike for Frazier. This Ranger bullpen has really been top notch with a 2.76 ERA, 3rd best in the American League. Frazier misses with that one, and count goes to 1-1. Frazier had worked 6 1/3 scoreless innings until Tuesday when he gave up a 7th inning homer to Aramis Ramirez in Milwaukee.
As of 2-3 years ago, Jason Frazier was a mid-90s fastball guy.
2 balls and a strike. He has piled up the appearances. He's had well over 500 in his major league career.
All-time leader in Toronto.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
35 years old. Well, the Blue Jays had some great years in the early 90s. It's a shot to left field. Murphy backing on it. Murphy at the wall. And it rattles off the wall. Knocks a panel out of the scoreboard. And he is down as the ball comes back in. It's retrieved by Elvis Andrus on a double by Grossman, but Murphy is down.
I think he took one right in the lower back. Part of that scoreboard. That's tough. That is a tough scoreboard to deal with.
He's taking his time, which is well advised in getting up after a blow like that. Yeah, you see some metal parts of that scoreboard there. And it's not a good idea to try to get up quickly after a blow like that.
Probably Grossman stinging the ball the other way. And a heck of an effort by David Murphy, but when he hits that wall right under the shoulder, the blades.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
He went into it hard.
He was in that come down mode, and it looked like that crossbar on the scoreboard just caught him right under the shoulder blades there. Wow. Pretty amazing he could even follow up and consider throwing the baseball back toward the infield.
You know, some of those Ranger players knocked the panels out of that scoreboard. Elvis Andrus, he might have been just wondering if that would give way. Well, it does on the panel, but the other part is metal. Those supports are metal in between the panels.
I hadn't even thought about the possibility of somebody going up on that board, and as they come down, getting caught, you could see how he just stopped abruptly.
Yeah. There's no give.
Wow.
Ron Washington went all the way out. And Murphy's going to stay in. He's already been a replacement for the starting left fielder, Baker. So getting a replacement for him is going to be interesting if they have to do that, because Martin also came off the bench, and they have an infielder on the bench, Leori Garcia, and a catcher, Robinson Chirino. So no other outfielders who would be available to come in and play in this game. Unless they wanted to put Lance Berkman out there, but then they'd lose the DH if they did that.
And you've already mentioned that Lance doesn't have a glove, so
he's not running for his glove, is he? Jimmy Paredes with ball one.
Not hiding from the skip, and that's not out of the realm of possibility either.
That's the old out of sight, out of mind trick, right, guys? Yeah. Go back to the clubhouse because they don't want the manager to think that they're there on the club.
Yeah, he probably knows Ron Washington is nowhere close to losing his mind.
1 ball and 1 strike. Well, there are some DHs. And of course, Berkman was an outfielder who got better and better. He even played some center field, made that great catch up on Towles Hill.
I thought he did a whale of a job.
Yeah, and then an outstanding first baseman. So he would not be included. Ground ball sharply hit. Kinsler to his left. He flips on to first. Paredes retired. Grossman to third. But there are some DHs you wouldn't want to get near a glove and put them out on the field. Jose Altuve, with his 6-game hitting streak on the line, is 0 for 3 tonight. Big Papi hasn't played a position in a while, has he? Maybe an interleague play.
No, I don't know. I can't recall the last time I saw him on the field. He's had injuries to his legs in recent years.
Yeah. Seems like he might have played a little first base last year in interleague play, but not a whole lot. But, you know, it's one of those considerations that a manager has to make with the DH. Fly ball, and the right fielder Cruz goes back on it. With the catch, here's the tag at third. Grossman coming home. Sacrifice fly. And it's 8 to 4. Altuve getting his 18th run batted in. He's doing it all this year, isn't he? Altuve one behind the club leader in runs batted in. Carter.
That's kind of a play on words a bit, but he has to be the guy everybody on the team looks up to.
Yeah. If they're on their knees, you were going to say? No.
Well, one way or the other. He is the little big man on the club.
Jason Castro is 0 for 3. Phil Boudreau did some checking on David Ortiz. He played first base against the Astros in 2011. There's strike one. But he won't play many games at first. Harold Baines was a guy who did a lot of DH in his career. I think he had very bad knees, didn't he, Ash?
Yeah, and he's a guy, because of all the DHing, has been kind of held back from possibilities of making the Hall of Fame with all the hits he possesses.
True.
I don't know if people can continue that argument, because you're going to have to deal with Ortiz and others coming up soon.
Yes, sir. Paul Molitor's in. He did a lot of DHing. 1-2. Jason Castro. Yeah, there's going to be, you would think, wouldn't you, with the voters, a breakthrough on that. We've had the DH since 1973. So.
Yeah, I would think at some point that has to go out the window as an argument against.
A strikeout ends it in the 8th inning for the Astros. They pick up a run on 1 hit, and moving to the 9th, it's 8-4 Rangers. Astros will play their final game of this longest homestand of the year on a very special day for moms. Join us for a Mother's Day extravaganza tomorrow afternoon. Alan Ashley will wear a pink tie. Astros pregame live kicks things off at 12:30 p.m. only on Comcast Sports Net. And Chevron drives in with our pitching matchup. Brought to you by Chevron. Care for your car. It's Nick Tefish, the rookie, with a 2-3 record, a 4.5 ERA. It's Jordan Lyles. He's 1-0. His ERA is exactly the same, and they are the matchup.
Now you're going to have that pink tie on as well, right?
It's mandatory tomorrow, pal. Part of the dress code for Bo Porter on travel day. Ian Kinsler leads it off here in the 9th inning. Kinsler is 0 for 4 tonight. He's not joined in the 10-hit attack by the Rangers. Cisnero, pitcher number 3 for Bo Porter. And he throws ball 1. Cisnero, after giving up the home run to Lance Berkman, has retired 6 in a row. It's 2-0. Yu Darvish in 7 innings allowed 3 hits, 3 runs, walking 3 and fanning 8. That's a shot into the left field corner. Dominguez hardly had time to move. Kinsler now has joined in that hit parade, sliding into second and beating the throw from left. It's a double for Kinsler, his 11th of the year. That's 47 hits for Kinsler.
Good player, a second baseman who provides pop. Very short, if any kind of stride right there with the bat, and he can hit some rockets. Used to be more of a base stealing threat than he is today.
Well, the extra base hits just keep on coming from the Rangers. Elvis Andrus, the batter. That's ball 1. They have 3 home runs tonight, 2 triples, 3 doubles. 27 total bases for the Rangers in this game. 2 balls, no strikes. They ranked 6th in the American League in total bases when the night began. Last year they led the majors in runs scored. They scored 808 runs. But that was with Josh Hamilton contributing quite a bit.
Tremendous first 2 months for Hamilton. Really tailed off, and early on I thought he was going to be a runaway shoe-in as the MVP in the league. As it turned out, he was nowhere close and wound up being the guy that dropped that fly ball in the final game of the year that the Texas Rangers lost and saw the Oakland A's move in and tie them. And or was that even that playoff game? I'm trying to recall, but it just slid the wrong direction on Josh.
Yeah. Little chopper past the mound. Altuve to his right. Gets the throw over. 1 out.
Come out to Minute Maid Park May 25th for our annual Bayou Bash, presented by Louisiana Association of Convention and Visitor Bureaus, with a special thanks to Budweiser. First pitch against the A's is at 6:10, but come out early for the live music, crawfish, and more. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS to get your tickets now.
Lance Berkman is 2 for 4 in the 6th inning. He led off that go-ahead rally, the 6-run rally, with a single. There's a strike. Now Lance was telling Dave Magadan in this conversation around the batting cage tonight, infield in by the way with 1 out, about the Astros run from 04 through 06. He said we never played a meaningless game in any of those years. In 04 they went to the playoffs. In 05 they did as well, and in 06 they went to the final day of the season before they were eliminated from playoff contention.
Makes the season go so much more quickly.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Keeps everybody grinding through that final month of the year. You know how it can be when teams are eliminated early on. That last month is for a lot of guys about trying to figure out where they're going for their vacations at the end of the year. Because everybody gives their very best during the ball game, but focus is different.
Right. Dragging and watching as the count goes to 1-2. Corkman takes it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lance this season has 22 walks, 19 strikeouts. And came back a little bit, but Lance knows the strike zone very well. It's 3-2.
Well, that beard's gotten a bit gray, but that bat is still quick.
Yeah.
He's one fine human being.
That's flick foul. Lance talked with the Astros about playing this year. The Rangers came along and offered a nice deal that he felt was very attractive. And it's been a good fit for him with this veteran Ranger club. He takes a walk. That's one thing he does. He really very seldom comes out of his disciplined pattern to hitting, even with a runner at third and 1 out. He'll take a walk.
I imagine if you asked Ron Washington what he's pleased about right now with his ball club, along with the fact they're in first, he probably would say Lance Berkman. At his age, a guy we signed to see if he's got something left. Boy, has he shown he has plenty left.
Now runners at first and third, 1 out. Adrian Beltre's the batter. Beltre homered in the second inning. Hits one to left field. Trevor Crowe with the runner tagging at third. Kinsler in for the catch. Here's Kinsler coming to the plate. Crowe with the throw. Corcoran with the tag. They got it. Trevor Crowe guns him down for an inning-ending double play from 7-2. The Astros get their 7th outfield assist of the year, and here it is.
Like last night, he comes charging in on the ball, throw a bit offline, but it beats Kinsler by a wide margin.
That is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Really busy out around Post Oak Boulevard tonight. 8-4, the Rangers lead it. They banged out 11 hits to the Astros 4. Busy night for home runs as well. 3 for the Rangers, 2 for the Astros, both by Matt Dominguez. He could come up here in the bottom of the 9th against Michael Kirkman. In 14 games, Kirkman has no decisions. His ERA is 6.59.
Boy, he's had a lot of base runners on against him, a lot of hits and walks. Try to get something started here in the ninth.
Carlos Corcoran, the first man up. He is 0 for 3. Switch hitter. This is his better side of the plate. 279 overall average as a right-handed batter. 292. Corp takes, and there's ball 1 to it. Kirkland has been wild and inconsistent at times this year. Very good stuff. One of 3 lefties in the bullpen for Ron Washington. 2 balls, no strikes. Yu Darvish could be 6-1 in just a few minutes. He went 7 innings tonight, giving up 3 runs. Jason Frazier in the 8th, that 1 inning, allowing 1 hit, 1 run, did not walk anybody and struck out 1. Chopped slowly, and that's a foul ball. Off the foot of Carlos. It's a 2-ball, 1 strike count for Corp. Both catchers in the lineup tonight. Jason Castro DHing. Tomorrow's game has a 1:10 start. Jordan Lyles versus Nick Tepesch. Tepesch is a right-hander. Pena's on deck, and Trevor Crow's due up third in the inning. It's lined to right field. In for a hit. Off the glove of Nelson Cruz. He picks it up, and there's a single for Carlos Corcoran. Hit number 5 for the Astros.
Well, that was crisp as can be.
It was.
Reaching out on a pitch, outer edge, and put it right on the barrel. Nice.
Good result for Carlos. He's aboard for another Carlos, Pena. Pena's 0 for 1 with a pair of walks. The count has gone to 3-2 all 3 times. And he's batted tonight.
For Kirkman, 20 hits allowed now in 13 and 2/3 innings and 9 walks.
It's a lot of traffic. Strike with Joe Nathan tossing. He came in for the save last night in the 4-2 Rangers win. And the Rangers would just as soon not use him tonight, of course. But if it gets into a save situation, most managers will make that move to their closer. Strike to Pena. That makes it 0-2. Kirkman is 26. He's from Lake City, Florida. Kirkman was drafted in the 5th round in 2005 by the Rangers, and he has pitched twice against the Astros. Did not give up a run on either occasion in that earlier series in April. Fly ball left center field. That one's hit well off the wall. Picked up by Martini. Throws into second. Pena's in with a double off the wall in left. He really unloaded for double number 6 of the season. Isn't it crazy? He's had 3-2 counts the first 3 times. Now he belts an 0-2 pitch a long way to left center.
Both guys going the other way here in the inning. And Carlos hasn't had great success against left-hand pitching. This pitch left up, however.
It's high off that wall. Well, now very quickly, if Joe Nathan did come in, he would be in a safe situation. And now that's why Ron Washington is walking to the mound. Trevor Crow is the batter. Matt Dominguez, who's hit 2 homers, is on deck. Kirkman has given up a single sharp line drive hit to right by Corcoran, and that double high off the left field wall. Washington looking out, and Nathan has had enough time apparently to be ready, and he will get this opportunity. And the Rangers are 11 for 11 in save opportunities. We go to Julia.
Hey guys, a little fun moment I have for you. While the Astros were in New York visiting the Yankees, a couple of them also went to the MLB fan cave. It was Bud Norris, Brandon Barnes, Lucas Harrell, Travis Blackley. They couldn't stop talking about it. And while they were there, they got to review remakes of famous movies that had titles featuring Astros of the past and present.
Hi, we're the Houston Astros, and this is Astros at the Movies. We've got a lot of great films to review today. First up, Lock, Stock, and 2 Lucas Harrells. The casting of Michael Caine as the second Lucas Harrell was inspired. It's uncanny, really.
I was just disappointed that Lucas didn't make it through the 3rd act. Although I thought bringing in Jose Veras really saved the movie. 3.5 Stros.
Thanks, guys. Glad you liked it.
Our next film is The Biggio Lebowski. Craig Biggio is great as the dude. The running gag of him getting hit by bowling balls was hilarious.
And that Bagwell really tied the movie together. The Biggio Lebowski gets 3,060 Stros.
Our next film is a drama co-starring our very own Bud Norris. This was great. I really love Bud's cameo, but to be honest, that ABC Always Be closing line could have been delivered a lot better by Billy Wagner.
I really like the chemistry between our two.
Put that coffee down. Coffee's for good movie reviewers.
Okay, well, let's just say Glengarry Glenn Davis gets 4 Stros, and so does Bud Norris. Our final film today is Magic Mike Scott.
I haven't liked a baseball stripper movie this much since The Full Money Ball.
I'm kind of partial to Stro Girls myself. All good movies, but nobody brings the heat like Mike Scott.
That's for sure. Magic Mike Scott gets 3.5 Stros and 10 singles.
Well, that's it for us. Until next time, we'll see you at the movies.
It's definitely a good way for these guys to loosen up while they're in New York City. I know it's something they all look forward to when they go. They took lots of pictures, were tweeting about it, had a good time. If you want to see that video, you can go to MLBFancave.com. I think my favorite was the Biggio Lebowski.
Yeah. You know, a good acting job by Bud, too, about the cup of coffee.
A couple of things really grabbed me. I love the accent from Travis Blackley.
Yeah.
It made him sound like he was legitimately at his craft right there. And then, of course, the body of Mike Scott. That was actually Mike's body.
You've seen Mike's body, and that's Mike's body. He must have been doing some work. Mike's had some work done. Trevor Crow is the batter. Joe Nathan is on the mound. Runners at second and third, nobody out. Crow is 0 for 3. Reached on an error his last time up. Dominguez on deck. 4-run lead for Joe Nathan. The potential tying run is in the on-deck circle, so this is a save situation. And there's the first pitch for a strike. He's 1-0 with a 1.38 ERA, 10 for 10 in saves. Joe, 38 years old. He was born in Houston. And last year had 37 saves and 40 opportunities for the Rangers. Joe went to Division III college, Stony Brook University. It's now a Division I school in New York on Long Island. He donated $500,000 so the baseball field could be refurbished, and they renamed it Joe Nathan Field. Bounce foul. And that club, Stony Brook University, went to the College World Series last year. Cinderella story. 4 balls, 2 strikes for Joe Nathan. Closed out the 42 win last night with a hitless inning. And he closed out a 4-0 win here, in which he did not get a save, April 3rd.
Could have done that Cinderella story a little more Bill Murray like.
Yeah, that's true. Way up, and it's 1-2. Quite a year for the Texas Rangers bullpen. Not only with the perfect year for saves so far, but the low ERA, which is the best start in terms of saves being converted, 11 for 11 for any major league club since 2006. And Detroit and Philadelphia both went 11 for 11 in saves out of the chute. It's 2-2 as Trevor Crow works his way back into the count.
Trevor's seen the baseball well. Remember earlier in the ballgame, we commented about the at-bat against Yu Darvish lining out eventually to right on a slider, and he just reacted beautifully with that pitch here, able to lay off.
There's a liner into center field. Martin will play it on a bounce. A run scores. And it's 8-5. RBI single, Trevor Crow. And it's getting interesting at Minute Maid Park with nobody out in the ninth. That's a tremendous at-bat by Crow.
And again, on a breaking ball, he stays there, eyes on it, and keeps the hands back to be able to handle it. Look at that piece of hitting. Anybody who's played the game will tell you that's exceptionally done.
Now runners at first and third. And the potential tying run is in the batter's box. Matt Dominguez. He has hit 2 homers tonight for the first time in his major league career. He's driven in 3. Struck out in the 7th. Double play depth for Andrus and Kinsler. Nathan throws strike 1.
This is a very big at bat for obvious reasons. A third home run of the night ties this bad boy.
Marwin Gonzalez on deck. Dominguez faced Nathan last night, hit a fly ball to left in the ninth inning, as the Rangers relievers did not allow a base runner for the final 3 1/3 innings of that game. He tried to check his swing, but he went on appeal to Eric Cooper. Now it's 0-2 for Nathan.
Now the slider induces this check swing going through, and I'd be surprised if Nathan doesn't come back with that slider.
Nathan, Robbie Ross, and Tanner Scheppers have combined for a 0.77 ERA in 45 total appearances, with those 7th, 8th, 9th inning guys doing very well. Runner going for second, and the pitch gets by Soto. Here's Pena coming to the plate. He scores, and in the third there's Crow, and he is safe. It's a stolen base for Crow, who was running on the pitch, and then a wild pitch, and it's 8-6.
How about that aggressive play? Having a runner going in that scenario where a home run ties the ball game. Not the best of blocking modes right there behind the plate. But then extreme aggression as Trevor Crow just keeps on coming to third. Oh, he's leaving his mark very quickly.
A 1-2 to Dominguez. He chops one slowly. Nathan coming over to bare hand and throw, and he got him. Good play by Nathan. Round number 1. He did not have a whole lot of time to waste. Crow holding at third, and now it's Gonzalez coming up.
Very tough play for Trevor Crow. You never know how this ball is actually going to be handled, and with it coming right toward Crow, all he could do was freeze.
Flung it and got him by half a step.
One of those plays could easily have seen the ball go flying down the right field line.
Ooh, you're right. Big play by Nathan. Now Gonzalez, who's 1 for 3, with Grossman on deck.
Nice battle back here in the ninth inning.
Very good life to this team. Washington had commented about the Astros in the interview with Julia before the game and how they do this, stay in ball games. And they've worked their way back into this one after trailing 8-3. Corner infielders are pinching in. Gonzalez had a bunt hit last night. Fly ball left. Murphy waiting. Here's the tag at third by Crow. And that'll make it 8-7 as he scores on the sacrifice fly. 2 outs. RBI number 10 from Marwin Gonzalez. And it's Robbie Grossman next.
That was an impressive sequence for Trevor Crow. Everything he did there, from the hit, the stolen base aggressiveness, moving on the wild pitch. Really well done.
Now it's a 1-run game. Grossman doubled and scored in the 8th. He's 1 for 3 with a walk. Jimmy Paredes on deck. Grossman struck out to end the ball game last night, with Nathan nailing down the 4-2 win. That's ball 1. Kirkman, in no innings, allowed 2 hits, 2 runs, with no walks, no strikeouts. Darvish's 6th win on the line here. Grossman is ahead 2-0. That was aggressive Bo Porter, with Crow taking off, getting a steal, and advancing to third on the wild pitch from where he scored on the sac fly. In for a strike from Nathan. 2-1 for the veteran. An all-star season last year for Joe Nathan. He's been with the Giants and Minnesota Twins before joining the Rangers, signing a 2-year free agent deal before last year. Now 3 balls in the strike. Nathan has more than 300 career saves. Now Chris Carter comes out to the on-deck circle to pinch hit for Jimmy Paredes. And Grossman takes a walk. Second walk of the night for Grossman. And now Carter is pinch hitting for Paredes, who was 0 for 4. Andy Hawkins out to the mound as Carter gets ready to hit. And Carter with 8 home runs is the Astros club leader. He's driven in 19. He leads in that department as well. He is 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter this season.
Sometimes managers just get hunches and wonder if this is one of those hunch moves where they just feel like give the big guy a chance to swing.
Five of his home runs have come against right-handed pitching with a 224 average.
There's a lot more bats against right-handers, but he is the big man.
Carter last night had a hit and 2 walks. He's on a 4-game hitting streak. That's ball 1 on a curveball from Nathan. He's the best threat to win this game with 1 swing for the Astros, and right-handed hitters have hit 280 against Joe Nathan.
How about that number? A guy that has a terrific slider.
Surprising. Now 2-0 to Carter. This was all kind of rush for Nathan. The Rangers brought an 8-4 lead to the bottom of the 9th inning, but Kirkman could not retire a batter.
That was a very unusual looking finish to the last delivery by Nathan.
Yeah.
It looked like a guy who might have for an instant thought he hurt himself.
Jose Altuve is on deck. That's a tough pitch.
2-1. Come with a 2-0 slider at the knees outside black.
And Coach John Maley talking about Chris Carter before the game and his patience. He goes into deep counts quite often. I select the right pitch to swing at. A couple of homers in the Angels series and drove in 5. Fly ball, broken bat, pop up on the infield with Andrus underneath, and he takes care of it. The Rangers survive a scare as the Astros score 3 in the bottom of the 9th, and they come away with an 8-7 win. Rangers now 8-2 in 1-run games, and they have claimed the first 2 of this series. Nathan nails it down for Darvish. Darvish going to 6-1. Nathan perfect in saves, 11 for 11. And the Rangers as a team are 12 for 12 in saves to open the season. Final score 8-7 Rangers tonight.